I'm going to do what the white guys do. I've created a show. I'm going to get as many of my friends and family into this show as possible.
154, we all connected, baby, you already know. I'm talking 154, we bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like
Yo, it's finally here. Yes. We are dropping our lifestyle merch. 154 is here, it's hot, come get it. Bam.
Welcome to another episode of 154. Today's guest was once an engineer, a profession that made her Nigerian mother very proud. But now she's one of the most sought-after international comics in the world. She's an award-winning Nigerian-British stand-up comedian, actress, writer, producer, author, voice artist, and showrunner. She co-created and executive produced the first American network sitcom to feature a Nigerian family at its center, Bob Hart's Abishola on CBS. She is a history maker, a cultural ambassador, a powerhouse entertainer, and comedy royalty. Today, we'll talk about her remarkable journey, the sacrifices behind the success, creating opportunities for others, representing Nigerian culture on a global stage, and what it takes to stay at the top of your game in an industry that is constantly evolving. Please join me in welcoming my good friend, the incredible, hilarious, and unapologetically authentic Gina Yashere!
Hey! Oh man, that was such a good, throwing your cards all over the place.
All the time.
Yeah. Welcome to 154.
Thank you.
We so love having you. Absolutely.
Awesome. Finally.
I know how much you are just waiting to get to this,
Yes, I want
to
my
this
Malta.
Malta. Look at the Malta is foaming, just like you're foaming at the mouth. It is foaming.
It wants
we want to do a nice toast just to celebrate you being here.
Yes.
We have some chin chin here, and we have malt because we know how much you like. Have you ever had this before?
My father had.
Have you had a
loads
Malta?
of it. It's strong.
I love it.
I love Guinness. I like Guinness stout because my mother. But I like to mix it with like.
I don't know. But here you go. Here, let me get you.
Okay.
There you go. This is it. This is my new love.
Yes.
There you go. Malta. Malta is the real deal. Malta.
Cheers.
Just got back from Nigeria, and I absolutely love that. Fallen in love with this.
Yeah, buddy. Malta.
Always Malta.
is my childhood.
Is that gonna be a Nigerian commercial?
Always Malta.
Maybe they'll sponsor us. Hi.
Malta
I'm
for the
Godfrey,
real
and I'm
Nigeria.
Where's my
so
Malta?
good.
Oh,
Oh,
so
my goodness.
delicious and tangy.
Delicious.
Oh my goodness. We also have some palm wine here too. Have you ever had palm wine before?
I've never had, my mum never let me drink, so I never had palm wine.
Oh wow. Okay. You know what?
But I'm not a wine fan, so let's taste it.
Okay,
I'm gonna
all right.
probably
You don't have
hate
to
it.
Not wine that you think.
You don't have to be a wine connoisseur. The very first time I had this was our very first episode. I never had it either. So here we go.
Okay.
There you go.
Malta is off the chain, boy.
Listen.
This is like a newer Malta.
When I walked
It's
in, I was
so
like,
good.
where's
Little,
the
it used to be
malt?
more bitter than this.
No,
No,
it's
it didn't.
so good.
It's your childish taste buds.
It was a child
Thought
back
it was
in the
bitter.
day.
It tastes the
Now
same.
it's amazing.
This actually tastes sweeter. The
It's-
ones we used to
yeah,
get
thank you.
in London were not as sweet as
It's
this.
not as
this
sweet.
is-
It was a little bitter, right?
I'm telling you, I got to, and my kids are like, Dad, what is that? I was like, just try it.
This is-
I ain't never
hey,
had it
you bought-
before.
where'd you-
Man, I
where'd
was
you get
literally
this from? I'm gonna
just
get
from
me
a local Nigerian store here.
I'm
It's
gonna
local
show you a
Nigerian.
six-pack of this. This is off the chain.
So
son.
if there's local Nigerian stores, where's my pound of yam, okra stew, mixed meat?
We have chin chin.
Where's old boy?
No.
What
I
do
said,
you want
where's
from
my-
us?
Where's my pounded yam, okra stew,
He's not here today.
and mixed meat?
You know what? Our chef called out sick today, so otherwise.
We usually have a.
All right, so I mean, Dan, you about to take that down to the end.
is good.
Try some. I don't know how it's gonna taste after you do though.
Okay.
Throw some chin in there.
Let me clear the palate.
You might have to, you might have to clear it with a little bit of this.
This is actually not bad.
Not bad.
It doesn't taste like wine. I
Not
hate
at all.
wine.
Oh, is that right?
This is actually good.
It's pretty
Okay.
good.
Palm wine.
Yeah.
I've never had, wait, Schweppes.
We went.
Ain't no real palm wine. What is this?
That's a British company, isn't it? Schweppes?
I think
Are
they're
you
from
allowed to
Nigeria.
say
I'm not
Schweppes?
sure.
Schweppes is in London.
Oh, is it?
It is, but
Yeah, Canterbury Schweppes, because when I did 7-Up, it was like Canterbury
Schweppes.
Schweppes.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Schweppes, I know, ginger ale.
Okay, so
That ginger ale?
pretty
I
good,
have
though.
to say, you and I have a lot in common. All right? I'm about to connect the thread because I know you guys have a lot in common.
yeah, let's see
But
that.
you and I have a lot in common.
Oh, yeah?
So your book is called Cock-handed.
Cat-handed, yeah.
Cock-handed, meaning left-handed.
Yes.
I too am left-handed.
You're left.
Hey,
Oh,
yes.
Did your mother tie up your hands?
Oh, come on. You already know.
My mom used to tie up my left hand and make me write with my right hand.
My dad tried to get me to be right-handed so badly,
Oh, yeah.
and I'm just like, I can't
insane.
do anything about it.
Yeah.
Like
My
I'm
brother's
left-handed. And
If I cooked food and I handed it to my mum
the whole
with
thing
my left hand, all of it, the whole pot.
gone.
Wow.
What are you doing? What are you? Start again. And I'd have to cook the whole pot from
Damn.
scratch. Oh yeah.
And
Your
Nigerian
left hand is
parents
for
are rough,
wiping
man.
doo-doo. It's for wiping doo-doo.
And when you think about that, well, what are the right-handers? Like the right-handers are doing, like what are they?
wiping doodoo?
Exactly. Right-handers wipe.
I doodoo with my right hand, baby. For real, that's the strong hand, baby. Cause you right, if I wipe my butt, my left hand, I'll just
It's gonna be messy.
You'll be
It's gonna
smearing
be
it all up your back.
nasty, brother.
It's messy.
If you wearing white underwear, you.
And here's the other one. You were born after twins?
Yes.
I was born after twins.
You were born after twins?
Yes, so in Yoruba,
Taiwan,
and I'm Idowu. Idowu meaning born after twins.
Oh, yes.
So you would be in the Yoruba culture,
Yes.
you would be considered Idowu.
That's
so
right.
we got that. We got
your
Wow.
twin sisters, twin brothers.
Well, my older sister, her twin died at birth, but yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're doing.
Wait.
So give us your full government
Oh, yeah.
name as it's on your birth certificate. Give it.
Gina Yashere British-Nigerian. Bola Tito Yashere. And there's a load of other ones, but I can't remember. But those are the ones on my.
You got more?
My birth certificate looks like the Da Vinci Code. It's ridiculous. I can't remember all of them. But Obidakbo is the first one, because that's the what they called me up until I was about 8 or 9. It was Dakbo.
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 Do you know the meaning? Do you know the meaning?
I did, and I've forgotten it. Was it two families coming together or something? Something.
Well, my mom's name is Bolatito, so now that's 3 things we have.
Well, look at that.
You guys, that is.
Yeah, my mom's name Bolatito.
You're not Yoruba, no.
No, my family are from Benin City. Edo.
Edo.
Like my
Edo.
cousin, my uncle's Sonny Okosun, very famous singer, Edo. My cousin Ebony, they're all Edo tribe.
Yeah.
Edo tribe. Yeah, I have Edo in my
And the Edo, because I was talking to you just off camera and I was saying the very first time I met anyone from Edo that was Edo was a teammate of mine who went to the same high school, but we were teammates in college.
That's
and
insane.
he said, I'm Edo. I was like, that's not real. I went and called my dad. My dad was like, yeah, no, that's a real tribe. Like
That's where the Benin Bronzes came from, man.
and so then that's where I was going to, because you've talked about this a lot.
Yeah.
In regards to the Kingdom of Benin.
Yeah, those are my
And the
ancestors.
Edo people.
Look, I wear Queen Idia around my neck every day.
Oh, that's dope.
Because my family are Obasaki, so they are related to the Obas.
Yeah. And you've mentioned that you said this is essentially like the real Wakanda.
Yes.
For people who are kind of like thrown off by that pop cultural reference, tell people about the Kingdom of Benin, because this isn't something that is studied in schools, in a lot of schools, and you either know or you don't know.
Yeah, so Benin was in Nigeria, and it was a very highly technical society.
Yeah.
They had drainage, proper street lights. They had, there was a Portuguese explorer who went there and wrote saying, I went to Benin and the streets are clean. There is no crime there. The houses are beautifully built. They have artisans that make art, So Benin was a society, basically is like what the modern day Wakanda is.
No doubt.
It was a beautiful place that people came to and saw, and they were living at a much higher standard of living than the Brits and the Americans, who were still throwing their piss and doodoo
at
out
each
of their
other. Yeah,
windows.
no doubt.
And passing the plague and the Black Death to each other. English people were still throwing their doodoo out windows, whereas we had proper sewage systems. And so that's where the Bronzes came. So what happened there?
Yeah.
The Portuguese used to trade with the people up in. They used to come and they used to trade, and they'd sell them palm oil and things like that. And then the British came, and they were like,
Dun, 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 dun.
yeah, we're like, why are we trading with these people? Let's just take it. And they tried to take it, and the Benin warriors sent them home beat their basically.
Let's go.
And sent them home. But what happened then, Queen Victoria did what was called a punitive mission. And they got their armies and they came back to Benin and
1897.
1897, and they razed it to the ground. They burnt everything to the ground. They killed a bunch of people.
Like Black Wall
they
Street.
exiled the Oba of Benin, exiled him out of the country, and then burned down everything and then stole all their art.
I think they're bringing it back now, finally, sort of. They said, no. They said,
no.
you can have it for a few years and then bring it back.
No, the British Museum didn't even want to give it back. They're like, oh no, we're looking after it. You know, because we don't think you Nigerians can actually look after your own. It's like going into someone's house, stealing their TV. And when they say, I want my TV back, they're like, no. I don't think you can look after this TV as well as I can look after this TV. So I tell you what, you can come to my house and watch your TV. But then you have to leave. So that's what the British. So they stole all our art. They stole all our bronzes, stole all our art. And then tried to sell it to other museums around the world to pay for the mission that they just done. And a lot of them, these other museums, wouldn't buy it because they didn't believe that black people could make such beautiful and
handcrafted,
such beautiful crafted art. So, but it ended up in museums all around the world.
All around.
It's really
from the
amazing
United States, Europe, everywhere.
It's this adage of how they don't believe black people can do anything. It's been around so long. Like way back then, they still didn't think black people were anything.
I tell you what's fascinating to me too, because going down and just really kind of looking at the history and doing the history of the Kingdom of Benin and looking at the great, I'm going to call it, because they always talk about the Great Wall of China.
Oh, no.
I'm calling this the Great Wall of Benin.
It was bigger than that.
It was bigger than the Wall of China.
It was bigger. The Great Wall of China is longer. It's got 13,000 miles.
Yes.
The Great Wall of Benin, 10,000 miles. If you think of that's enough to go almost around the entire border of the lower 48 of the United States.
No doubt.
Think about that.
It's insane.
60 feet tall. I mean, this thing was massive. And it's its own, like you talked about, its own unique society that was broken
And it actually worked.
And it worked.
It worked, but the Great Wall of China didn't, because Genghis Khan jumped right over it. Said, what's up, dog? Yeah, all y'all trying to block me out, man. Come on, man. So that's why Genghis Khan spread his seed. You know, his seed is everywhere. A lot of people are related to Genghis Khan because they hopped over the wall. They were like,
it took a lot to build that. It took 600 years to build the Great Wall of Benin. And if you think about it, that was less time than it took to build the Great Wall of China. So to me, when I'm looking at this, I'm like, the amount of organization, the amount of smarts. People talk about the Pyramid of Giza. Like, this should be like really taught everywhere.
It should have been in the one of the seven wonders of the world. It should have been, but it was done by black people, so they're like, we're not going to talk about that.
Isn't that funny?
We're not going to talk about how more advanced black people were. We're not going to talk about the fact that black people were the ones that taught white people to wash and bathe and clean themselves in a way that they don't spread disease.
They don't use
none of that is taught. None of that is taught.
And a lot of the organizations and systems that were taken back to the UK was seen right there in the Kingdom of Benin, which is interesting because after they did the whole breakup in 1884 and said, hey, we're going to divide them up, they found that. They was like, yo, what's this? Oh, let's go get that. Took all it, looted and all that stuff. How do you feel when you travel around and you know that your ancestors, you're the Edo tribe, and you see the bronzes around that represents your culture, it's your possession. What does that feel like?
I mean, it's infuriating, you know, because I'm like, why am I going into a museum and seeing this in New York when we don't have it in Nigeria? In Nigeria, we have to have replicas of our own stuff.
It's insane.
We have replicas of our own stuff. It's infuriating. And especially as I'm like, you know, and I don't know if you know the story of Queen Idia. Like, I feel like I model myself on her. Like, because she was who all the Benin Bronzes were based on. They were based on her face.
With the whole neck.
Her face. She was a warrior who basically went to war to fight so that her son would become Oba. Because she was one of the wives of the Oba. And when he died, his son was going to become Oba. And she was like, no, I want my son to be Oba. And she said to her son, don't worry, you stay here. I'm going to go fight this war. I'll come back with the crown. Yeah. And she went to war and beat the other guy to the point where he left his crown on the water and said, all right, you can have it. I'm going to go. And she brought the crown back. And at the time in Benin society, when a man became Oba, he was supposed to kill his mother and bet because the mother had too much influence over the son. So Obas used to have to kill their mothers when they became the king. But then when she brought the crown back for him, so he changed the whole, he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that because she was the one that got me.
He changed the history.
Yeah, he changed the whole, he was like, no, in fact, I'm going to build her a castle and I'm going to have every artisan in Benin make masks in her honor.
Ooh, sick.
And those are the masks that the British stole and ended up in museums all over the world. And I'm sort of direct lineage because my family are from that. So yeah. So I see her as my ancestor. She is, you know, I feel like she's my spirit.
Behind a glass in a place where you pay a ticket.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
You know, it's funny. I was just looking, I was at the Met, in New York.
Right.
I'm a member.
And they're all in there. They're in there.
And I'm over there and you see all the Benin stuff. And it's so funny because the Greek area, it's so well lit. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's under the sun roof. All the Greek stuff is just, and then the tribal stuff is in the dark. Yeah. and then I think they changed it because like all the like Pacific Islanders, African stuff, the way they wrote it, it was like these primitive peoples, they would say the word on the placards, and me and my ex, we were complaining to the manager, like, what is this?
Primitive
How are you
peoples.
calling these people primitive?
Primitive.
Primitive
we
people.
We had a sewage system.
Yeah.
We had sewage.
Irrigation.
Yeah. We had irrigation.
Farming. You know, we mathematicians, we mapped the planet. We were in the seas before all of you.
And if you think about that, the design that went into making the Great Wall of Benin, this was done like between 800, 1400s. This was before modern tools and stuff like that. I mean, so to think about the ingenuity that went into that, like that is a lot of brains.
Yeah.
Like a lot of brains.
They say that black people are lazy and dumb, but yet, we are built as
and it's not. It's just propaganda.
I mean, hell, we can't build a wall here. Donald Trump is talking about trying to build a wall. He still can't build a wall. You know what I mean?
Right. He's trying to build one
with all the money and whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's. I don't know. It's just one of those things when you look at,
when you talk about the wall and you see like with you know, they don't want Mexicans coming over, but their history is pyramids and Aztec and sick. They were builders too. And then you got people going, these people are here destroying the.
I'll tell you though, you know, when you think about now Nigerians going to, you know, to the UK, your family, you know, immigrated to the UK. A lot of Nigerians left Nigeria to go to the UK. Why? Cold, gray skies. Why?
Because the British were like, we are your motherland. You know, my mother, you know, was educated by British missionaries. So it was instilled in her as a child.
That's right.
The Britain was the motherland. It was you know, and you know, her education was from them. So that was something to aspire to go to England. To go to England, where everything began, you know, because that's what they were taught, you know, and that was where they could continue their education. And they were taught that the British roads were paved with gold, and that's what they thought. And so, you know, because the British came to Nigeria, destroyed, you know, the cultural education, and was like, you know, forget all this growing stuff and knowing the earth and the land, forget that. We're going to teach you how to do accounting and work for the empire. And that's what they did. So they destroyed that aspect of Nigerian life and taught them how to do work for the empire. And because of that, they couldn't farm as well anymore. They couldn't do those things anymore. And so they were qualified to do stuff in England. And that's where all the educated Nigerians aspire to go to. And that's what happened.
They tricked that into this good trick.
I mean, if you think about that's the kind of stuff that is, I think, is so paramount, especially now. Like we are. I mean, if you think about even the way the American culture is, we are so like everything we do is for the empire, you know, or the government.
No doubt.
Yeah, right.
No doubt.
Like a lot of us don't know how to farm, right? A lot of us don't know how to grow our own things. I'm raising my hands because I know my wife likes, her family comes from a farming background, so she likes
the green thumb.
I had to fight her because she wants to put tomatoes and this in the back. I'm like,
you need to start doing that.
No, on some real shit though.
It's war.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to start growing your food.
A lot of these cities have like farming communities. You can go get some a plot of and they'll plant stuff for you. That's what I'm about to do. I'm like, yo, you can go and find places where people are growing their own in any city.
Yeah,
pretty much. Yeah.
Yep.
Did your father ever talk about like the British stuff is the best? My father would always say that. British is way better. They're always British. Union Jack and all this.
There was a
the colonization mindset.
My father,
You know, the one good thing that the British have been good at, just the whole colonial, the way that they brainwashed the entire planet.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's pretty ingenious.
It's genius.
Dastardly, but ingenious. That they've colonized us, our brains to believe, and generations. It's traveled down generations.
Till today.
Yeah, where we think our skin is worse because it's darker. You know, this has been passed down.
Yeah, no doubt.
For hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty genius.
Do you think they'll ever come to a point where it will stop? Where that colonization mindset is, when it comes to skin color, at some point it's going to end and stop?
No.
No.
Not unless the earth does a hard reset, wipes us all out and we start again from scratch. No. Because it's going to keep getting passed down and passed down and passed down.
Yeah. No matter what.
And you don't even know what it is. Because it's so intrinsic, it's so embedded in your DNA that you don't even know. You'll have guys, I've got a preference for light-skinned women, but they don't know why. Yeah, and that's basically, it's embedded in our DNA at this point.
I'm going to tell you this. Love my wife. Wife is light-skinned. She's, biracial. And I know I've heard this from, some family members. I've heard this from friends. People was like, well, how come you didn't, you didn't date, a dark-skinned woman? And it wasn't until I got older, but I used to say what you said, which was, this is my preference. This is my preference.
Yeah.
But you didn't realize it's like people who are, and I don't mean to use this, this analogy, but I think it makes sense. It's like people who are groomed to do certain things, right?
Yes.
You're just getting groomed and you think, oh, wow, because everything you watch on television, everything that is, like it's glorified, right, is that. And you don't realize until you get older, like, oh, shoot, like I was kind of cornered into this, into this
subliminal messaging.
That's completely, you're taught.
That's the subconscious.
Thinner lips is prettier.
No doubt.
A thinner nose, lighter skinned, straighter. It's even in law. How recently was the law passed that black women can wear their own hair?
That's
in the
insane.
Military? What,
follicular law.
Just with it's in the law.
Yeah. And there are a lot of corporations who actually, like my brother was a part of a lawsuit against Abercrombie and Fitch. Mm-hmm. And he used to work at Abercrombie and Fitch and he couldn't even wear his hair in cornrows. Yeah. And he wore it in cornrows and they ended up firing him. Yep. And he went out after Abercrombie and Fitch. And this is where I'm like, well, why can't you wear,
We're not allowed to wear our hair as it grows out of our head. Yeah. We have to chemically straighten it to fit into what is the white ideal of what beauty and cleanliness.
And it's a lot of it being not being able to do what we do. They have to stop that. We can't twist our hair. We can't. But then they start doing it. Yeah. Then white women putting big lips on and ass, and then black dudes be like, "Ooh." I go, "But you have black women that have that." And it's like you said. I think it's genius brainwashing, and it's subconscious. It's almost like that's why when they say go to therapy and stuff like that, because you literally will do. You don't even realize it.
It's subconscious. I heard my therapist tell me this one time. He said that your subconscious is driven from unresolved issues from the past, and it can be so far down there that you don't even realize. It's moving you around, and you can't even access it. So not being able to capture that from your childhood determines your quote unquote preferences.
That's why they say be careful what you say all the time, because it just reinforces into it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I want to talk to that move to the UK, because your mother and father traveled to the UK.
Yes.
And then your father...
They met in the UK.
They met in the UK.
So they both traveled to the UK. My father was studying for his PhD. My mother was a qualified school principal in Nigeria by the time she was 25. She was a school principal, very highly educated. She traveled to the UK. She was introduced to my father. So they met in the UK and married and then had us. But once my father was qualified, and he was like, well, I want a job in my industry. And in England, they were like, no, we know you're educated and everything. And we did invite you, of course. Yeah, but, well, you can sort letters or you can drive a bus. What would you like to do? And my father was like, no, I want to be a lawyer. And my wife is a school principal. But they couldn't get work in their field. So my father said, and at the time I was probably 3, and my younger brother, Dele, was 18 months old. So basically, my dad was like, and Edwin, my youngest brother, hadn't even been born yet. And so my dad said, well, let's take the kids and go back to Nigeria. But my mum was like, no. My mum was like, no, these kids are British. You know, she had that full British mindset. Yeah. They're British. England is better. My children need to be brought up in England because they will have more opportunities. They'll have that British accent. Their lives will not be limited by being in Nigeria. Yeah. And so she refused to go. And so my dad literally went, okay then. And basically, I don't think my dad's family liked my mum because she already had a child, my older sister, before she met my dad. I don't think and he'd converted from Islam to Christianity to marry my mum.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So I don't think his family liked her. And so his mum was like, I'm not well. Your mother is dying. Come home and care for me. So my dad was like, I'm going to go back to Nigeria and look after my mum. And he went back. And his mum never died for another 10 years. But my dad never came back.
Oh, wow.
He never came back.
Never came back.
Wow.
He left when I was 3. I met him again for the first time when I was 38.
Wow.
So I never saw him.
35 years ago.
Yeah, he left. No. He left. And had a whole other family in Nigeria. I've got brothers and sisters that I don't know.
Yeah.
That I met once when I went to Nigeria. So yeah, and so my mum basically raised us alone. My mother had to go into hospital alone to have my younger brother. So she never forgave my dad for that. Imagine, you're in hospital in the 70s, giving birth, and all these husbands are coming in with flowers for their wives,
man.
and she's in a hospital by herself. Me and Dele had to go into foster care.
What?
Temporarily.
During that time?
Because she was alone in England. She had nobody.
Wow.
So when she went into hospital to have my brother, we went into, you know, there was, what do they call it? There was a movie made about it. About the kids that were put with white foster parents, and some of them never ended up back with their parents. I mean, my mum came back.
But there was a documentary though too. We had some
the
documentary.
Yeah, about the children, about Nigerian children, because Nigerians would come to England and they'd find white nannies.
Farming, they called it the farming.
Yeah, it was farming. Remember the movie Farming?
Yes.
That Damson Idris was in.
Yes, yeah.
And it was based on my guy's life, who was in Oz, and my name. AAA. All I know remember is his initials are AAA. He was in Oz, the Nigerian guy who played Adebisi in Oz.
That's Awale.
Yes. So it was based on his life, farming. Oh, and Damson Idris.
That's why. I saw him in an interview talking about that.
Right. So when Nigerians went to England in the 60s and 70s, educated Nigerians went to England, they often found white nannies to look after the kids. One, because while they were studying and working, they wanted to concentrate on that. And 2, it was very much seen as a cachet as a Nigerian to have a white nanny. But they weren't proper nannies. They would just find white people in newspapers who just said, yeah, we'll look after your kids for £4 a month or whatever. And they would just put
randos.
They weren't vetted in any way. They just find advert in the newspaper and put their kids with these white families. So there was a lot of abuse that happened, a lot of terrible things. There's a whole documentary about it, and some of these kids were messed up by it. Luckily, the white people that we went to, they loved us as their own kids. In fact, they wanted to adopt us. And my mom was like, no, give me back my children. But she went into hospital alone and had my younger brother, and then came back and got us. But yeah.
How did that change your relationship with your mom and your dad? Like what like growing up, that must have been, I mean, obviously you were young, huh?
She never forgave him.
Oh.
So she talked badly of him all my life.
Yep.
You know, your father left you. He left you. So that was all my life. So my mother never had and I think my father broke my mother's heart. And so that's why she,
of course,
you know.
Did you carry a lot of that too?
I wish I had a dad for sure.
Yeah.
Because I had a very evil stepfather. So I very much wished as a child that I had I'd have daydreams of my dad coming up and punching my stepdad in the throat and taking and rescuing us. You know what I mean? But as a kid, you just adapt.
Yeah.
You know? I never dwelled on any of it. I just was like, well, I just adapted to the life I had, you know?
Yeah, and then your dad ended up starting a whole other family.
Whole other family. Whole other family.
Yeah. Did you ever connect with them?
I met them once. I went to Nigeria to do a show. Yeah. There's this comedian called Basket Mouth.
Basketball.
Yeah. He took me to Nigeria to do a show. And when I told my mum I was going to Nigeria to do this show, she was like, your father is going to turn up. Because what happened, I got quite famous in England and I was on TV in England. Yeah. And then somebody wrote a letter to the TV station and to a theatre that I was doing shows at, saying, my name is blah, 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 Yashere. I am the cousin of Gina's father, and he wants to know and wrote this letter. And I remember being sent this letter, and I was like, I'm going to contact my dad. And I contacted him, but then he just kept going, send me money so I can get a visa. So I was like, ugh. And I just threw it away. And I never contacted him again. But then years later, I was going to Nigeria to do it. And my mom was like, your father is going to turn up. I said, she'll mark my words. He will turn up. And he did. I was at the show. It was at the Echo Hotel and Suites.
Oh, Echo, yeah, in Lagos, yeah.
So the big show was happening. My flight had been delayed and I'd flown in. I literally landed as the show was already on. Because my flight had been delayed a whole day. So they walked me in and they were checking me into the hotel so I could quickly change and go on stage. And as I walked in, a guy jumped out of the crowd and was just taking pictures. And I was like, wow, paparazzi. Okay, I must be really famous here. And then as I was checking in, the woman at the desk was like, and will you be sharing a room? And I was like, and I was on my own. I was like, sharing a room. And I turned around and there was this old black man standing behind me, an old Nigerian man in full agbada and everything. And I was like, and I recognized him immediately. I knew it was my father. Okay. And I was like, no, we're not going to be sharing a room. I was like, oh, hello. Let me just check in. I'll get right back to you. Because I was so thrown off.
Of course.
So I checked back in and they turned up for the show. They didn't even have tickets for the show. So I got them into the show. And I did a joke on stage about my father's here for the first time. And then the next day I took them out for dinner and we sat and we ate and I asked all the questions. But what is really funny, I was videoing it as I was talking to them. And he was there and the guy who jumped out, the paparazzi guy, was not paparazzi, it was my younger brother. And when I looked at him, he's the spitting image of my brother back in London. So my dad's genes were strong. So we hung out the next day and I asked all the questions and they're talking about me in Edo and my mum never taught me the language. Right. And it's so funny because I'm talking and I'm like, yeah, and I'm paying for the food. I'm like, eat. And they're talking, but I don't know what they're saying, but I'm thinking they just, and as we're at the end of the day, the younger sister looks at my watch and she's like, that's a nice watch. Maybe you will leave that behind when you go. And I was like, oh God. We haven't even known each other 24 hours. And already, you just monster. So anyway, I went back to England. My mum never wanted to see any of the videos. She didn't want to see, I don't care, I don't want to know. Right. But years later, after my father had passed, she looked at the video and then she was listening to what they were saying. Oh. And she says to me, you know what they were saying about you? As you were sitting there videoing, all happy that you're meeting your brother and sister, your father, they were talking, going, when is she going to give us money? Is she going to give us money? Why, we're not going to get money. And then my younger sister was saying, oh, no. She's not going to give us money. This food here that she's paying for is the money. So eat up. That's the conversation.
What the hell? That is crazy.
But I didn't find this out till, when did I go to Nigeria? 2010, 2011. I didn't find this out till 12 years later when my mum finally watched the video and was like, do you know what they are saying about you on this video? You're so happy to be seeing your father.
She was just like a Nigerian mother to throw it in your face. I can see it.
But she was so angry at me.
Yeah.
And I said, look, I didn't go to him. He came to me.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, you should have told him to go. I said, Mum, you brought me up with respect, to respect to all my elders. Yeah. And that is exactly what I did. Can you imagine if he come to me, and I go, get out of here, you're useless. I don't know if I would have got out of Nigeria alive for a start, if I would start cussing out
Yeah, right.
an elder in front of a room, thousands of Nigerians.
Right.
And I said he was my father, and at the end of the day, he was my father. So I gave him his due respect.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Did you get anything in that conversation? Did you get anything answered or resolved?
I wouldn't say resolved. I said, why did you never come for us? You never came for us. We were suffering in England with an evil stepfather, and you never came for us. And he brought out a pile of letters that he'd been writing to us over the years. And he tried to call the house a few times, and my stepdad had put the phone down on him, and he'd written a bunch of letters, and he had all this stuff that he presented to me. He's like, oh no, I never forgot my children. And I was like, I get it. But you never came. You never came. And that's the difference. You never came. You never sent anything for us. You never came. And so, like, my brothers have both got kids. And he wanted to get in touch with my brothers. And one of my brothers spoke to him once out of curiosity and then said, that's enough. I spoke to him once. I've sated that curiosity. I'm done. And I said, why not? And he goes, because I'm a father. You could cut both my arms and legs off. I will drag myself to where my children are by my teeth. So I can never respect him for the fact that all those years went by and he couldn't find a way to get to us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah.
So you think that added on to your mom being as strict as she was? Because, you know, there's Nigerian mom strict.
Yeah.
And then there's the pressure of being a single mom in a foreign country.
Yeah, she was terrified.
You know, raising kids.
Of course.
How strict was your mom?
Oh, crazy strict.
Yeah.
Like there's Nigerian strict.
Yeah.
And then my mum was psychotically Nigerian strict.
Right.
She wouldn't let me go anywhere. Like I wasn't even allowed to go on school trips. Even school trips. Like we lived in London. This is one classic example. We lived in London and we had a school trip to the Tower of London. We lived in an area of London called Tower Hamlets. Tower of London is in Tower Hamlets. The school trip was literally 8 minutes from my home. In fact, she could have sat on her balcony
and saw you
and watched me on the school trip. She would not let me go on that school
You
trip.
said it was 8 minutes away from your house?
She wouldn't let me go.
Why?
She would not let me go. She just would not let us go on anything. And I remember a teacher actually wrote a personal note to my mother saying, Gina's been so good this year. Her grades are the highest in class, you know, and this is an educational trip. I really think that you should. My mom just, you know, begged my mom. Like this woman took it on herself to write a personal letter to my mom. My mom just
Just tossed it away.
You're not going.
Oh, that must have crushed you.
There were times as a child I absolutely hated my mother. I remember one time there was a party across the street from my house. My mom never let me go to parties. Oh, you'll go there, get pregnant, and then you'll have babies like these Jamaican girls. Because the hatred between Africans and Caribbeans was so strong.
This is Windrush, right?
God.
Windrush came what is the Windrush? The 1930s?
Yeah, when Caribbeans came over to England to help after the First World War. So,
yes, right.
You know, they came over the 40s and 50s and 60s. They came.
Yeah.
And, you know, that colonialism, they brainwashed Caribbeans, Jamaicans, and didn't even know that they were descended from Africans.
Right.
I went to school with kids who had no idea. No, man, I'm Jamaican. We're talking about. My mom and dad are Jamaican. And I'd be like, you weren't in, your ancestors were brought to, they did not know.
Wow.
Until Roots came out. They didn't know because they were deliberately kept uneducated.
Yes.
So because of that, there was a chasm between Africans born in Africa and Caribbeans, because Caribbeans looked at Africans and were like, ugh, they think they're better than us, and they come from the jungle and all this, because all they knew about Africans was what was in the Tarzan movies.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then Africans looked down on Caribbeans, going, look at them, they don't even know their own history, they're useless. So there was that. So my mum wouldn't let me go anywhere, and she did not like it when I had Caribbean, Jamaican, just Jamaicans, don't mix with them. You know, my mum would rather I had white friends than Jamaican friends. That's how bad it was.
Insane.
So she wouldn't let me go to any parties. One time when I was 15, a girl who lived across the street. My house is here. This girl's house
is there, right there, right across the street.
Everything's so close.
Yeah.
You can't go to anything that's so close.
She had a birthday party.
Oh, good. Okay, so,
Damn. How old were you?
15.
15.
Damn.
Okay, yeah.
She invited everybody in the class to the birthday party. There was another girl, Muslim girl, whose parents also didn't let her go anywhere.
Oh.
So I bonded with her on the fact that we were never allowed to go anywhere because all our other friends used to get to hang out weekends and stuff. And we'd sit and commiserate and go, well, at least, I was kind of, I had that schadenfreude. I'd be glad that she was miserable too. You know what I mean? We both can't go places. Anyway, this party was across the street. And all the kids in my year were going to this party. And I said to Annie, this is the Muslim girl, I said, Annie, well, at least we can't go. And he was like, no, my mum and dad said I could go. And I was like, so I asked my mum, I said, Mummy, party's right across the road. It's there. Like, you can walk across in your slippers and pull me out of there if you want. It's right there. She wouldn't let me go. Oh. She wouldn't let me go to this party. And as all my friends are going to this party, they're all banging on the door going, is Gina coming?
No.
And they wouldn't let me go. She wouldn't let me go. And I sat there at my bedroom window watching my friends.
Oh, that ate you up. That ate you up.
To this day, it makes me so angry to this day. Thinking about that, just going, I was a good kid. My grades were good. I never got into any trouble. Like, come on, Mum. This is over the top.
Where did this overprotection, because there's part of that I read in your book that made me realize like Nigerian parents can be very, very closed-minded and very overprotective.
So closed-minded.
Like your mom you had to hide swimming.
Yeah,
something as simple as swimming.
She wouldn't let me go swimming in case I drowned. She was terrified of everything.
Yeah.
And terrified. My mother used to keep a scrapbook of bus and train crashes. I'm not even joking. You think this is just
like a real scrapbook?
No, she used to
bus and train crashes.
She used to cut out newspaper cuttings of accidents, especially when children died. Oh my God.
That's messed up.
She'd cut them out. And then when we'd ask to go places, she'd bring out the book. These children, their mothers told them not to go on the school trip, and look what happened. The bus crashed and they all died. This boy, his mother told him not to go. He went out and he was kidnapped and murdered. So she'd have all of this.
She came up with the narratives beforehand, because that clearly was not in the papers.
Oh yeah. And so she would literally, she never, and this is why I became, as soon as I hit 18, I was like, you ain't, and I refused to go to college because I wanted to go to university. Because I was like, I get to go and live in the halls. I'll be away from home. I'll live in student housing, freedom. And my mom was like, no, you're going to go to university in London and you're going to stay here. So then I was like, well, I'm not going to university then. So I refused. I did not. I said, I'm not going. I'm going to get a job where I get paid and I will study for my degree part-time.
So you could pay for it and do it your own way.
I got a job.
Weren't you working on elevators?
Yeah, I got a job as a trainee engineer where I got a salary. And once I got a salary, I bought a car.
Yeah.
I pimped out my bedroom. I got satellite TV just on my bedroom. My mom comes home and there's guys putting a satellite dish on the roof. And it was just for my bedroom. The cable went straight into my bedroom.
Oh, not into the house.
Oh, my room was pimped out.
Did your mom ever come into your room to watch TV?
Oh, they did. I put a lock and key on my room. My brothers, when I had to pick that lock, and I come home and my brothers would be watching LA Law in my bedroom. I'm like, get out! My room.
I'll pay for this.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I pimped out my room. I got a car and I started getting clubbing. And I was like, you can't tell me nothing. Because before she's like, you can't go anywhere. What if you're kidnapped on the way? I've got a car.
Yep.
And I got a job. Well, get out of my house if you're going to use this like a hotel. All right then.
And you moved out?
I left at 22. Yeah. Because she'd get madder and madder and madder. And one day, and she'd always go, if you get out of my house. And she'd always do that. And then one day I had a flat set up. And the next argument she said, get out of my house. I said, yeah, I'm moving out Monday. And she went,
called the bluff.
Yep.
Oh, you said you
What's
set it up.
What's up?
Yes.
Oh, you
I
playing
had the
chess.
apartment set up.
Yeah.
Get out if you want to use like. Because I used to pay her rent. It's not like I didn't pay her money. My mum didn't pay.
Oh, you paid rent.
What in the world?
As soon as I started working, my older sister, I learned from my older sister's mistakes.
Damn.
Because my older sister's 8 years older than me. When she started working, she made the mistake of coming on with her pay slip and showing her, my mum how much she got paid. And she had, because she worked for the government, so they showed her how much she was going to be getting every year. So my mum would took half of my sister's income.
Man.
And then every year she'd say, okay, so your income is going up 2,000 this year. So my cut is... So, and I saw that as
like
a
a
young child.
dictator.
So what'd you do when was your turn?
So when I started working part-time in bakeries, like at school, before I left school.
Yeah.
So if they were paying me $10, I told my mum I was making $5, and then I gave her $2.50.
So you kept 75%.
Yeah. And then when I started working full-time, I wouldn't even tell her how much I earned. I said, nah, what are you earning? You don't need to know that. How much do you want per month as rent? And I will pay that.
Wow.
And so we negotiate. I said, you're not learning that much. Because I saw what you did to my sister. I said, you ain't doing that to me. Yeah. Because I remember at 13 years old, I pulled my 21-year-old sister aside. I said, because my sister go, you have to behave yourself. My mum would go to my older sister, you have to behave yourself. Because if you don't, the other children would follow you and then they will be bad because you're bad. So she kept my older sister in check by doing that. And at 13, I pulled my 21-year-old sister aside. I said to her, listen, do what you're going to do. Because I tell you what, when I'm 18, I'm doing what the hell I want. I'm not following you. And that's what I said to her. Wow. My sister reminded me of that conversation. I said, at 13, I said, I'm not following you. I'm going to do what I want.
Wow.
So yeah, I got a job, I kept my money, and I paid my mum rent. So I paid, and I did shopping, I bought food for the house, so I contributed.
Yeah, you
and
weren't just a freeloader.
I contributed so that I could do what I liked. I'd go out clubbing, but I was never, you know what I mean? I was never disrespectful.
Right.
Yeah.
But then she didn't like that I was going out and being free, so I left home and never went back. Got my own place.
Was your mom capable of showing you, with all the stuff that she was probably going on internally, did she show you a softer side? Because, you know, moms can have that, like my mom had that, she could be, she was a force, but then she would show a softer side.
Yeah, sure.
Did your mom show the softer side?
My mom's softer side was giving us aspirin after she beat us.
What?
An aspirin?
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
She'd beat us and then she'd go,
Here you go.
you might be feeling a headache after that beating. And then she'd give us, that was her softer side. No, not really. Not really.
No, wow.
I knew my mum loved us because birthdays and stuff, she always struggled to get money to get us what we wanted.
Yeah.
And I remember a racist white guy beat me up when I was 12, 13. And my mother took him to court. And she didn't have the money to do that. And she took him like civil court to sue him. You know, we lost the case because racism. But that's when I knew, because I was like, I don't want to go to court. I just want to get on with my life. I just want to put this behind her. But she was like, no, this man hit my child.
It's like a grown man.
Yeah, he attacked me outside of school. My brothers my mum used to make me and my brothers come home together after school. And my brothers liked to hang out with their friends after school and play dice and stuff. And I'd be hanging around waiting for them because I couldn't come home without them. Because my mum was like, where are the boys? So I'd have to wait for them. And one day I was just sitting waiting for them after school, and I leaned up against a car while I was waiting. And this guy came, who the fuck you lean against my car, you black bastard? And I was like, I'm not a black bastard, you're a white bastard. And he was like, what? And he chased me. And I was like, I ran, and my brothers were nowhere to be seen. They were off playing around the corner somewhere. And I ran, and he chased me, and I tried to get back in the school. The school was locked. And I saw a teacher walking down the hallway, and I was banging on the glass. Let me in, let me in. And it's like a horror movie. Let me in. And this white guy's running up behind me. And as the teacher runs to open the door, this guy grabs me and beats me, just punches the hell out of me in the door. And the teacher opens the door and drags me in. She saw everything. She went to court to testify.
And it still didn't work.
No, they were like, he was a firefighter, the guy. So they were like, oh, he's a firefighter. He's a hero. And they were like, well, what did this little black girl do for this white man, this hero firefighter? So that's basically, they they dismissed.
Wow.
Yeah. But my mum took him to court. He wasn't even arrested. The police didn't want to do it.
How much did it cost your mom?
£3,000 at the time, which was a lot of money.
Yeah.
We're talking 80s.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. So
She didn't have that money.
Man.
Got a lawyer and everything.
That was probably more than the rent.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Our rent at the time would have been, she owned the house, so the mortgage would have been $300 a month. It would have been 10 months mortgage payments that she spent.
That had to have changed when you go, whoa, mom just took a lot of money. If she never said, I love you, this was like the...
Well, looking back on that, at the time I was like, I don't want to go to court. I just want to go to school and live my life. I don't want...
Yeah.
Because his kid went to the school. They never told me who his kid was though. But we knew because that's why he was outside the school. But looking back, I go, that shows how much my mum is, you know, but at the time I was just like, just let me go, I don't want to go to court, I don't want to, just, you know.
Right.
But that was how I knew. Yeah. I knew that my mum loved us, but she had a lot of difficulty. Nigerians are not good at showing emotion. My mum never hugged us. Yeah. She never hugged. I remember as a kid, I used to see all these American kids on TV. Going, I love you, Mom. Mom, I love you. Oh my God. And kissing and hugging their moms. And I remember once saying to my mum, do you love us? Because like these kids on TV, their mums kissing, hug them. Do you love us? And this is, I swear to God, this is my mum's answer.
Yeah, you can tell it this.
I like all of my children.
She couldn't say love. She says, I like all of my children.
I like. She couldn't even say the word love.
No.
What is that? What is it?
It's just.
I don't know.
My father
but it's an African thing.
Not huggy. He'd be like, shake my hand. Okay, good. I'm like,
or
it was never like,
do you have
Dad, I love you.
Do you have a roof over your head?
Never.
Right? They will use. They
do you not have the house you live in? Do you not have clothes on your back?
What we do
you not have food on the table? Do you not have shoes on your feet?
But your parents weren't
asking about love. Get out of here.
My parents weren't even like no huggy kissy stuff at all. They would just. It was just like they just didn't do that around us. You know what I mean?
I remember the first time I had to give my dad a kiss on his cheek.
Whoa!
Was at my
You had to do that?
No. I got in trouble at school, Black American school, for context, and I got suspended. I got into a fight with James in the 2nd or 3rd grade in the front of the school. And, I'm crying in school because I know I'm going to get a whooping and all this stuff. My dad comes and whatever and say, are you going to be a good kid? I say, yeah, I'm going to now give your dad a kiss on the cheek. That was that was never a thing. The principal maybe, but that was never a thing that we did.
Your dad must have been like,
he was like this. Pause. We will pause this. Don't ever kiss me.
The fact that you made your teacher kiss me in public embarrass me.
You embarrass us.
You're a woman. Making him a woman in front of it.
I remember the one time in my life my mum kissed me.
When?
So at 16, you do the exams at school, and they will dictate whether you go on to study for advanced level to go to university. And these are the exams that this is what you study the whole 5 years at school. You take them at 16. And that is the culmination of 5 years of education at school. And as my mum used to read all my mail, I never got to have mail. I couldn't even have pen pals. That's a whole other thing.
Pen pals.
Remember pen pals?
I remember pen pal.
So when the results of my exams came, she opened them. And I came down in the morning and she grabbed me and kissed me on the cheek. And I recoiled I was like, what was that? I'd passed all my exams. I got these great grades, which meant I was finally going to become the doctor that she'd always wanted. It was another step. It was another step. For her. Yeah. She kissed on the cheek and I literally recoiled what the?
It was foreign.
I'm 16 years old. She's never kissed me in my life.
Right.
And I was like, what the? And then she showed me my exam results and I was like, oh. Well, thanks for that.
No affection, boy.
Yeah.
I'm like that now. You like that?
But now,
you like that with your, very
but now she's old. She can't fight me. I will grab her.
How old is your mom?
She's 94 now.
94.
Wow, bless her.
She's old now, and I will grab her and I'll kiss her forehead, and she's like, "Oh, get off, stop it!" I'm like, I literally get her in a headlock. You're gonna take these kisses because I've seen her kissing her grandkids. Oh,
but
yeah.
So she's softened over the years.
Oh, she's softened.
Yeah.
Now she's hugging my grandkids, and I'm like, did I just see you hug that child? Oh, I cussed
You ever
out.
take it to the London Tower?
Oh, listen.
Uh-oh, is that a story?
Take it to the London Tower said.
Don't get me started.
I
My
told you.
youngest sister got to do everything.
Yeah.
Really?
Because her dad was my evil stepdad. And he was like, you're not stopping my child from... So she got bikes. My mum never let us have a bike. In case we got out there and got killed, she got a bike.
And she showed you bike accidents.
So I want to get into your stepdad, because you talk a lot about him, and he put you guys through a lot of pain.
Yes.
And you experienced abuse at the hands of...
Oh, he's the big out of us.
What?
Yeah. And he took pleasure in it.
So what did your mom see in him to remarry him? And what was that? Where did they meet? And when did you know the tables had turned and you felt unsafe in the household?
I think my mum married out of necessity. Because I remember calling her on it as I was writing the book and talking to her, and I was like, why? Why did you marry this man? He was he was abusive to her and me and us kids.
Yeah.
You know, I remember walking in on him, and he had her hand up behind her back.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Oh.
They were like this. And I remember walking in, and I was like 9 or something, and they both stopped.
Oh, wow.
And my mum was like, oh, we're just playing a game. Go, go. And it's not till years later that I realized, oh, they weren't playing a game. He was in the middle of attacking her.
Wow.
You know? And then eventually, at one point, he tried to attack her in front of us. And all 3 of us jumped in front of her. And we had those stairs with the wooden banisters. Yeah. And as he was trying to get to my mum, we're holding on. And we broke every banister in that staircase, trying to protect my mum from him. And at 17, I eventually went after him with a knife.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm going to kill you. And then that was when my mum was like, okay, we have to get out. Because she was like, if I don't get us out of this house, somebody's going to die, and my daughter will kill this man and ruin our chances of her becoming a doctor.
Our chance of her becoming a doctor.
Eventually, we had to get out of the house. Because I was like, because by then I was old enough to go, oh, you're not, I'm a grown-ass woman now, I will beat your ass. And then he locked himself in his room like a coward.
Wow.
I went for him and I was like, yeah, what? What are you going to do now?
Whoa.
And he locked himself in his room. I was like, that's right, you're a coward. You can only abuse us when we were small kids. Now we're grown up. You're scared of us now. Yeah.
Wow. So how did your mom leave?
She literally called a van and without him knowing, and she just came to all of us kids and said, pack all your things up. We're leaving in 2 days.
Right on.
And then 2 days later, a bus turned up outside the house, a van, and we all just walked out with our stuff. He had no idea.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was it? That was the last time?
How long were they together?
I was 17. They got together when I was 4.
Damn.
Yeah.
That was like 12 years, 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
A minute.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
What was
He
your
did not like me because I was too mouthy.
Yeah.
I remember when my younger sister was born when I was 6, he pulled me aside. Now I'm 6 years old.
6.
He pulls me aside and he says, I don't like you and you don't like me. Stay away from my child. I'm 6 years old.
Wow. Jeez. This is insane.
Anyway, he's dead now. He's dead now. When I heard he died, I was like, yes.
Nigeria?
Yeah.
You died in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, me and my brother used to drive by where he worked. He worked in a sorting office in London.
Yeah.
And me and my brother used to wait for him to finish work, and then we'd drive real slowly behind him. And he was terrified. But we were still terrified of him. We still had that fear.
Yeah.
But I had a car then, so we just drive by him.
Right.
And then just leave. We were never going to do anything. We were never going to do anything because we were still scared of him.
But you were putting the same type of fear back in him.
Psychological warfare. He'd be seeing us drive. I'd drive by real slow. And he'd be like, we used to terrorize him.
Hell yeah. These kids are, they're crazy.
They're crazy, oh.
They're crazy, oh.
You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
So your childhood, what was it? So overall, how would you describe your childhood?
I mean, when I look back, it was in some ways it was a terrible childhood, but in other ways, me and my brothers stuck together. We found happiness because luckily me and my two brothers were very close in age. So we played together. We hung out together. We had each other's backs. You know what I mean? So when my stepdad would try and come at me, my brothers were there. You know what I mean? So even though it was, looking back, if you read my book, you go, oh, this was a terrible childhood. But I still came out
okay.
You know?
Hell, you're Gina Yashere. I mean,
you know.
You don't take no shit. I know that's right. I've been on tours.
What's it like on tour with her?
I've been on Canadian tours with her. And I remember this is her line. I'm not that bitch. I am not that bitch. I'm not that bitch. I'm not that.
I will not have anybody treat me badly.
Whenever, and I gave her props for that, because whether it's a money thing, whether it's just, the business they always want to try to shaft you and like that. And I remember we're not Bermuda, but we were somewhere on one of the Just for Laughs or whatever, and you were like, I'm not that I'm not that I was like, what's going on?
I hate injustice.
I love it though.
And, I won't stand by and watch other people being treated badly or myself being treated. No. And so this is why it's probably taken me a lot longer to make it in this industry, because I've never been a person to bow down,
to
say nothing when something is wrong. You know what I mean? I've always been that person. And because of that, it's taken me a lot longer to get to where I'm going.
She wouldn't take no shit from anybody, and I loved it. And there's another example. It's a comedian taking your jokes.
Oh, yeah.
Who? Call him out.
Don't get me started on
Call him out.
Russell Peters. It's out. It's Russell Peters.
He admitted
Big Indian comic who I knew got really huge. Out of all the, Indian comics, he was the guy,
He was the first guy selling out stadiums.
The first guy selling out
He was
arenas.
selling out stadiums on jokes. He used to come to England, and we toured in England before he was famous. And he was stealing all my material about my Nigerian mum and turning it into his Indian dad. And then he got famous off of it. Somebody put on YouTube
someone's gonna get
one of his sets. That someone's going to get hurt real bad. That was mine.
I didn't know
joke
that
about his Indian dad thinking that panani was a tropical fruit. That was mine. Stole it all. Got super famous off it. Selling stadiums off it. And I confronted him twice, and he promised to pay me, and he didn't. And, long story short, he never thought anything was going to come of it, because he was a huge star at that point and I was a nobody, so he could just bat me away. But as I started to get more well known, he started to go, started to get more famous. People might start listening to her now. So he went on Sway show. Remember Sway?
Sway, yeah.
And he did an interview and he admitted stealing my joke.
Wow.
And this is how dumb he is. I had no proof of him stealing that joke, because he was stealing it when I was a nobody in England.
Right.
And I'd been talking about it for years. I had no proof. And he went on and did that interview with Sway and gave me all the proof I needed. Idiot.
And you can't get paid from that?
No.
Wow.
It's very hard to copyright jokes.
Unless everybody knows it. It's almost like, as much as I'll go to the dentist and I'll go, wow, I have some dental jokes, but I got to make sure it has nothing to do with Bill Cosby's. Because Bill Cosby, as himself, has a famous being at the dentist joke, and it's so huge that you got to make sure if you do it, it better not be close to anything.
But then again, what was that Hispanic guy that was stealing everybody's jokes?
Carlos Mencia.
He did a whole special, which was word for word a Bill Cosby
thing. Bill Cosby.
And apart from him being ostracized,
Joe Rogan got him
from the comedic community for it. He never got sued for it. He still made his money.
But they would match his video with Cosby's video.
Word for word.
I just saw something on Instagram too, talking about like Kevin Hart, like with the whole Netflix special, Bang Bang, towards the end, he was like, yo, I'm about to shoot.
Just another comic
said that he did 14 years ago. And that there was this whole bang, bang, bang.
Well, it's like Basket Mouth. There's a guy that steals, Basket Mouth has a great joke about the two things. The thing he's like, it's about two situations. If this happens to you, then this thing you're okay. But there's another thing that it's like these two. It's a really brilliant joke that he did 20 years. And there's this Muslim dude that does the same thing.
Listen.
But he differentiates it, and I go, this dude thinks he's brilliant. That's Basketmouth. And I told Basketmouth, and he goes, I saw that.
But
it's so famous.
Comedians stealing my jokes for years. There's a routine I used to do about CSI, the Nigerian CSI. The Nigerian CSI
already
will come
funny.
in. Will come in. There's a dead body. Somebody has been killed. Did you do it? Did you do it? Oh, we will never find the killer. Right? So I did this whole routine. And another Nigerian comedian took that whole routine and was doing it all over. And people were sending it to me going, isn't this you? Yeah, so it happens a lot.
When was your start? Like, when did you know? Because I know, there's this whole engineer route because, in the Nigerian culture, you got to be a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you made this strong pivot.
Right.
When did you know that you had the comedic chops, and when did you start developing it?
Well, people always told me I was funny. And as a kid, I always was artistic. And I remember a drama teacher, before drama, we did drama for the first 3 years at school. And then when it became a subject you could choose, I wasn't allowed to choose it. But the first 3 years, we had it as part of our curriculum. Right. And I remember at a parent-teacher conference, my drama teacher saying to my mum, look, your daughter's really talented. Like, she could really go far as an actor. And my mum looks at this woman and was like, well, she can act like a doctor.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So that was the end of so I was studying towards becoming a doctor. Got to advanced level biology, had to cut open a rat, fainted at the sight of the blood. So I was like, well, I'm gonna have to pivot. So I switched to engineering and became an engineer. And that's what I was doing. And I was working for Otis. I was their first.
That is elevators.
Yeah, I was building and repairing elevators. And I was their first female engineer in their 100-year history in the UK. Wow. Right? Which sounds great. It was the worst experience of my life.
Sure it was. You're the first.
I'm an only woman, black woman, 21 years old, working on construction sites with
It's like amongst 3,000 men.
Amongst 3,000 men, and I'm earning the same, if not more money than some of them because I was more qualified. I went through hell. Like,
what kind of hell?
Called the N-word at work every day.
Damn.
Every day. Guys coming up to me in my face. And I had a guy, I had to threaten him after a while. He kept coming to calling me N-word in my face every day. And in the end, I pulled him aside. I listen, I got two brothers. If you don't want two turning up at your house at 3 o'clock in the morning, you best shut your mouth. Don't say another word to me.
Right on.
And he never spoke to me again, right? But I had to threaten him because every day he was calling me the N-word at work, every day. And a guy come up to me, goes, Gina, you know what your name spells backwards? That was his joke. And then I was like, thank God he doesn't know that my full name is Regina. I'll pause and let you work that one out.
It actually spells that. You get it?
Yeah, exactly. So I went through hell. And then I was a qualified engineer and I was a trainee. And I went through the training, and at the end of the training, I'm supposed to manage my own site. So if there's a new building going up in London, I get to manage the site and build the elevator with my team under me as the building goes up. And when it came time to get my own site, the bosses were like, yeah, we know you're qualified and you can do the job and everything, but guys ain't gonna listen to a girl. So I'll tell you what, we'll give you the promotion and the money, but you're not gonna do the job, right? So I was like, well, no, because how am I supposed to progress if I can't do the job? So I went to my union. And I said and I'd been paying into the union for 4 years at this point. Went to the union and was like, listen, union, I've been paying in for 4 years. Let's go at this company. And my union rep, these were his actual words. He went, yeah, I don't know about this women's lib stuff. And refused to represent me at my hearing that I had with the bosses of the company.
Wow.
My union refused to represent me. I've been paying in for all those years.
Wow.
So I basically said to them, mate, lay me off, pay me off, let me go. You know, if you don't do it, I'm going to go public with this, with the fact that you're racist and sexist. Let me go. So they laid me off and I took my money and I left. And I took the summer off and I was like, I'm a qualified engineer. I will walk into another job easily, but I'm going to enjoy the summer. Right. And it was during that summer, I was in the Nation of Islam. That's a whole another story.
You were in the Nation of Islam?
Wow. Oh, wow.
That's a whole other
Oh, wow.
Islam!
I was very angry at white people for a long time. So I was in the Nation, and I used to do stuff like, I'd go to events and we'd raise money for the black community and stuff. And they were doing a night once. They were doing a night of poetry and music, and they were like, what can you do? And me and a couple of friends wrote what I thought was a play. And it turned out this play was a comedy sketch, and people laughed their asses off through this sketch.
Right.
And I was like, and it woke something up in me.
Oh. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I want to do this. I want to do more of this. And we kept, with that one sketch, we kept going to talent competitions and winning. And then one particular day, the other two girls didn't turn up for a competition that we were in. We were in the semi-finals and they didn't turn up. And I was on my own, and I just went up on stage and talked for 5 minutes and got the crowd laughing and got us through to the final. So then people started coming up to me and going, you're a stand-up comic. And I was like, what is this that you speak of? And that's how I got into comedy, because I was like, well, I don't need you to. I can do this by myself.
Right.
And so and that's how I got into stand-up comedy. And people started going, I'll give you $5 to come and do a show. And it just built from there.
Nice.
And within 6 months of starting, I got my first gig on TV. So I was like, oh, I'm going to be a star.
So the whole engineer thing was out the window.
Oh yeah, out the window. I told my mum, I've got the degree. I can go into engineering anytime. I'm going to try this for a bit. And if it doesn't work out, I'll go back to engineering. But I want to try this. And my mum was like, oh God, okay, fine.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, if you accelerate that fast, you accelerate that fast. There's no reason to go back.
Within 6 months of doing comedy, my mum was on TV. I got onto this talent competition, and my mum turned up at the TV show. I don't know if you've seen that clip of my mum standing up.
Oh, yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
You got to find that clip.
Okay, I'll find that clip.
But basically, I got on this talent show. My mum came down with all her friends, and they're all in African attire. Now, this is English TV. It's white people, white host, white audience.
Is this Apollo?
No, it's Jonathan Ross had a talent show. It was called the Big Talent Show.
Okay.
And so I got through to the final of the show, and I turned up for the final, and my mum turns up with all her friends, full African attire. So Jonathan is interviewing me before I go and do my set. You know, I sit on the couch and then I go off and do my set. And he's talking to me and he goes, so I take it your mum's in the audience, and the camera switches. And there's this bank of African royalty just sitting there like. And so the camera goes on my mum, and my mum does this. Literally stands up. Yes, I am the mother. I am the one that gave birth to this clown. Yes. So she literally, after that, all her friends in Nigeria saw that. She has been nothing but supportive of my comedic career.
I bet.
Ever since.
Engineer, comedian.
Famous comedian.
You're famous now.
Look, she's on the TV, on ITV. On
It's over. Oh, yeah.
After that, there was no more talk of
Because
engineering.
you didn't have to deal with that race, because you deal with a lot of racism. Like I even heard that they even put like a picture of a monkey and put bananas.
I'd go to work and as an engineer, and there'll be a picture of a monkey on above my overalls.
That's what they
or
spend
a
their
banana
time.
skin in my pockets.
There it is.
It was a terrible, terrible time.
So when you think about racism in the UK and racism here in the States, is there a difference?
The British were the architects
Word.
of race. Like, Americans think they're the best at everything. They're not. The Brits were the architects. How is a tiny little island control the entire globe
Insane.
for hundreds of years?
Insane.
The architects.
No doubt.
And so, no, there's no difference. The only reason that black people don't die as much at police hands in England is because they don't carry guns. That's the only reason. They have to work a lot harder to kill us.
You still call them bobbies?
Not really.
Not really, right? Bobbies. The bobbies.
Not really. But yeah, so no.
That was.
They just did it smarter.
Yeah.
You know, with the slavery especially, they did it differently. They did it smarter.
Yeah.
Americans stole black people from Africa and brought them back to America and had them working on plantations within America.
Yeah.
But England hid it. It was all on the islands. It was in Jamaica.
Yeah.
It was in Barbados.
Yeah.
It was in Trinidad. So the Americans did the equivalent of burgling someone's house and bringing the stolen goods back to their own home, whereas the English kept it in someone else's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and you were able to take all of this and still get through the stuff that you had to get through and still make it as a comedian, accelerate? I mean, you were able to go into, because at one point they were calling you like the next Whoopi Goldberg, and you like, you know, like I
wish I was the next Whoopi Goldberg.
They said you were a rival to her, right? The newspaper actually called you a British rival for Whoopi Goldberg.
That's crazy. That's dope.
I wish that had come true. I love Whoopi.
Yeah.
I toured with her in the UK. It's great. I mean, it's been a long process. You know, I got very well known in England, but I hit a glass ceiling. You know, I hit a glass ceiling where I was always the guest on other people's shows, but I was never going to get my own show.
Yeah.
I could sell out small theaters, but I was never going to sell arenas. So white guys that I started with would go whoosh, and I was here. And then I'd end up guesting on their shows.
That's insane.
And it became frustrated. And I was like, well, I don't want to become bitter and angry. And as a 4-year-old, I always knew that I was going to end up in America. I always wanted to go to America because I'd watched all the TV shows and watch American kids riding on bikes, solving crimes. So I wanted to be one of those kids. So I'd always dreamed of going to America. Even when I worked as an engineer, I worked for Otis, which was an American company, because my plan was to transfer to America and be in America. So as soon as I started doing comedy and I got to that glass ceiling, hit that glass ceiling, I was like, I'm going to America. I think I'm going to go swim with the big sharks and I want to make it in America. And so I left. I left England and people laughed at me.
Yeah, because
They laughed at me.
There were a lot of, because I know Stephen K. Amos was the guy that I see had his own show.
Yeah.
Like, because you had Tracy Ullman,
Yeah.
Stephen K. Amos, you had all these other white dudes, like Graham, what's the guy? Graham
Norton.
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton started with me. I remember I used to run a gig
bitch.
in London and I paid him $50 to come and do a show for
And
me.
he had his
now
own talk show.
yeah,
It's
that's
all,
what
but
I'm
those
saying.
all white, it's English,
Yeah.
all white dudes.
How
It's
much
all-
were they paying in the UK versus how much they were paying in the States? Did you make more? Where did you make more money?
As a working comedian, I made more money in England.
Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because comedy clubs in England are like the Comedy Cellar in New York.
Okay.
Whereby everybody
You've been
gets...
in the Comedy Cellar.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Yeah.
Right, everybody gets the same money. You go to the cellar because you know you're going to get a particular caliber of comedy night. Don't know who's going to be on. Doesn't matter who's going to be on.
Right.
You go to the club because you know it's a good club.
Yes.
And you're going to, and whoever's on is on. And everybody gets the same money.
That's right.
Whereas all other comedy clubs around the US, you have to be famous enough to headline that club. They're not going to book you. They'll only book you if they know you can sell tickets.
Gotcha.
Right? So to headline the improvs or whatever, you have to have a certain amount, you'll be a white guy and they pay for the room for you because that's how racism works. But you have to, you have to be able to sell tickets. Whereas in England, every comedy club was like the Cellar.
Yeah, you pay, yep.
You went to the comedy club because it was your local comedy club and you knew that it was going to be a good night.
Yeah.
And everybody got the same money. But it was good money, you know. Everybody got, I don't know, $300 a set, let's say.
Yeah.
But over a weekend, you could do 3, 4, 5,
No doubt.
6,
You're getting
7
money.
shows.
Yep, damn right.
So I made a very good living
wow.
doing the comedy clubs. And then when I started to get more TV in England, then I transcended the comedy clubs because I was like, yeah, you're paying me 300 quid for this 20-minute set. But I can hire a theatre and have 200 people come in and pay me, you know, so then I can make more money. So then I transcended comedy clubs and went to theatres. And that's how it works in England. You start at the comedy clubs. So comedians who've never been on TV could still make 80, 100 grand a year.
No doubt.
Just doing comedy clubs.
That's it.
Which
Yeah,
is
sure.
impossible in America.
Right.
You know, so when I came to America, I was like, oh, well, I'm a well-known comedian. I'm very good at what I do. I can just I'll start again from the bottom because I'm coming to a new country and I'll just do the comedy clubs and make a living doing the comedy clubs until I can actually sell tickets or get a TV show. And then I came and I'm going to the Improv in LA and going, so how much do you pay for sets and how can I get on? And they're like, we don't know you. We're not booking you. And when we do book you, you'll get $8.75. And I was like, what did you just say? What? Yeah, the comedy clubs don't pay.
The ones in LA.
Los Angeles, don't pay.
Oh, LA's a different beast?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, because
they're a little better. They're way better now.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
wow.
the time when I came in 2007.
that was.
I remember doing a set at the Improv and I got $8.75
$8.
in a check.
Yep. You can't even
$8 and
$8.75
in 2007?
2007.
Damn right.
So basically,
I think that was it. Like,
their whole mindset.
wait, minimum wage wasn't even what?
I know. Their whole mindset is you're in Los Angeles. You could do a set, and somebody like Steven Spielberg could see you. And you could blow up from being picked for a movie. So we're doing you a favor. So you're going as a comedian. The doorman's getting paid. The waiters are getting paid. Everybody is getting paid. Except the reason that the audience is there. So I came to America and I was so shocked because I was like, oh my God, I'm not gonna be able to make a living. Because I came to LA. Because I was like, I want to do comedy in the sun with palm trees and pools. I want to live in an apartment building like Melrose Place. So I came to LA thinking I can make...
Like Melrose
and I
Place.
struggled in LA for 7 years until I went, oh no, New York is where the money is at if you're an actual working comedian.
Yeah.
So for the 7 years, I'd fly to New York every year and get to know all the comedy club owners. I'd go and do the cellar. And then I'd come back after 3 weeks in New York with more money than I'd made in a year in Los Angeles. So after a while, I was like, why the hell am I in LA?
Right.
So then I left and moved to New York and stayed in New York for 6
Is
years.
this why you couldn't live in LA?
It's just
There's no money.
There's no
As
money.
a comedian.
And the comedy culture
terrible.
is no camaraderie really in New York. Like you can go to a spot and hang out.
Yeah.
And there's camaraderie. Even if you don't work there, it's just camaraderie. That's why I love the cellar so much. And you know, what I was doing when I got to New York, I was doing about maybe 30 to 40 sets a week.
Yeah.
Dang.
And now they got more clubs. This is when it was less, but I was doing 30 to 40,
So
man.
I could make good money.
Yeah, no doubt.
And pay my rent.
Yup.
Without actually being on TV in New York. Whereas LA, I had to keep leaving the country to go and tour Australia, go tour the UK, go tour the Middle East, go tour the Far East, get money, come back to LA, live off that money.
What was your turning point then in LA? How did you blow up in LA?
Well, I wasn't. I was living in New York. I'd moved to New York and I was living in New York for 6 years.
Oh, so you're...
And then I got called by Chuck Lorre to help him create Bob Hart's Abishola. And when I created it, then I had to move back to LA. So I moved back to LA and bought a house and then was like, okay.
You called
and LA
me.
is way better when you're making money.
You called me and said, Godfrey.
I tried to get him on the show.
Yeah. She goes, Godfrey, I'm a producer. I just got a sitcom. I go, what are you talking about? They were looking for a British black comedian and they Googled and I popped up.
Yeah.
And Chuck Lorre, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
He goes, yo, you got to come in and audition for something. She just
Yeah,
tried
I was trying to get all of my people in.
Yeah.
Dang, I wish I knew you back then.
I got the show. I got the show, and I fought because obviously the Abishola, it's Hollywood. They wanted some light-skinned woman to play Abishola, and I was like, nope. I fought them. I was like, she has to be a dark-skinned Nigerian woman, or this show ain't gonna work. So I fought.
They wanted
Why do they want a light-skinned...
Because it's Hollywood.
That's weird.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah, it's true.
It's Hollywood.
Yeah.
They try to force a light-skinned Nigerian,
they
and
were
not to
like,
say
well,
that light-skinned
they were
Nigerians
like,
don't exist, but they wanted to force...
Yeah, well, Iman's African, isn't she? Said, so could we get someone...
She's brown as hell. What are you talking about?
Wow.
But
And also, it's ignorance. It's ignorance.
What did they say? What did they say when I auditioned? Remember?
So he came in with his freaking muscles. And
I can't.
And it's for a guy that works in a warehouse. And Chuck was like, this guy looks like a model. He doesn't look like a guy that works in a warehouse.
I went in for her because I wanted to go in.
I was trying to get you in. Listen, I was like, I'm going to do what the white guys do. I've created a show. I'm going to get as many of my friends and family into this show as possible. I've got my black friends in the writer's room who've been trying to get into writer's rooms, which is notoriously impossible as a black writer in Hollywood. And I didn't force them. What I did, I was smart with it. I didn't force them.
Okay.
I'd go, I'm doing a comedy show. Do you want to come and see me do a set? So I'd invite Chuck and the guys to come and see me do a set. Then I'd call all my friends and go, come and open for me on this show. And so I did a show.
Smart.
I was headlining at Flappers in Burbank.
Flappers,
I was headlining Flappers in Burbank. And I knew that 2 of the other exec producers were coming to see the show. So I called all my comedian friends. I said, come and open for me. So they all went up and did their thing. And then afterwards they went, oh, we like that woman, Gloria. And I was like, well, Gloria writes.
Right.
I love that.
That's so great.
You knew you
So
had
smart.
to, you knew that the
to
recommendation
finagle.
wouldn't come. So you said, you know what? Why don't I just present them in front of you?
That's
and
so
then
smart.
that's how Gloria got in. And she wrote on my show for the whole show.
That's so great.
And now she's got her own sitcom that she's working on.
Wow.
Does Gloria need like a big 6'6" bodyguard or somebody?
Another one?
Yeah, she's working on a sitcom. Yeah.
Not The Neighborhood, but
No, she's
Damn,
got
he's getting another one.
No, he's not getting it. He's exec producing with her.
That's great.
On her own sitcom.
Wow.
So, you know, these are, I was able to open doors for people so that they can get in.
You're a rare case because a lot of these black comics don't do.
What I wish people had done for me.
Yeah, that's you paid it forward.
When you were given that
You paid
opportunity.
it forward.
Yeah. I'm like, this is what I wish someone had done for me when I was coming.
So
out.
about Bob Hart, Abishola, because I was blown away when I saw this pop up. Like I didn't know it when it was in the trades and whatever. It just popped up. I'm like, they got Nigerian, like a Nigerian story on main, like
on CBS.
On CBS, I was so blown away with it.
CBS.
I was so stuck. I was like, I have to watch this.
Yeah.
And the authenticity, and for me, you know, working, you know, with NBC for a long time, you know how standard and practice works, and you know these people that give their notes, the executive that gives their notes. Give me the real. What type of notes were you getting about the authentic Nigerian experience in this world that you had created between a white man meeting a Nigerian woman, marrying, and having that, like, what type of notes were you getting when you tried to infuse the Nigerian culture?
Well, here's the thing. When Chuck brought me in, originally I turned it down. I didn't want to do it. I didn't trust them. And I turned it down. And my brother, my best friend, called me up and screamed at me for hours. And so I ended up doing it. But when I sat in the room with them and started working on the pilot with them, I said to them, I'm willing to do this. But I said to Chuck, but you have to listen to me. If I say black people or Nigerians do not do this, then they don't do this. It doesn't go in the show. You have to listen to me. You brought me in as a Nigerian descendant of immigrants. You have to listen to me about the cultural aspects of the show. And he was like, okay. So we got into a few fights along the way, but they always did. You know, so that's why the family dynamic, I mean, if you look at Abishola and story, it's basically my family.
Yeah.
Her coming to America, the father leaves and goes back to Nigeria. She is in America raising her son by herself, except the marrying the white guy part. My mom didn't do that.
Right.
But the story is basically my entire life story I infused into the show. So I said, you have to listen to me. The cultural aspects of it. You know, when you see these American shows where the black kid comes in and he puts his feet up on the couch with his shoes on, or he goes in the fridge and just opens the fridge and just takes out the drink, the whole bottle of orange juice
and then puts
for the
his
whole
mouth
family,
on it and puts it back in.
I said, that does not happen in Nigeria.
No way.
Would get bit. What? You're drinking? Go and drink water from the faucet. So I said, these kind of things, these are small things.
Yeah.
But these are massive things.
Yes.
So they listened, and so notes from the network. I was blessed to be working with Chuck Lorre.
That's insane. The biggest
It's Chuck Lorre,
TV producer,
2.5
of course.
Men, Big Bang Theory. Like CBS would come and give little notes, and Chuck would go, "Just do what you're doing." They never really gave us. They'd give us tiny little notes, but we never listened to any of it. We just did what we did.
Wow.
And also, I sneaked in a lot of political stuff into the show.
Yeah.
Without them knowing, because they didn't,
They didn't have the international or global.
They didn't get some of the stuff.
That's great.
Like there was an episode where Dele had his hair plaited and Abishola goes off because, I don't want you looking like that. No, because my mother was furious when I locked up. There's that whole thing. So I slipped in stuff about the whole, what do they call them? The wars between African Americans and Africans.
Oh, yes.
What do they call it? They call it
the FBAs versus the
foundational black Americans.
Yeah, so I slipped in a lot of stuff like that in the show without them knowing. They didn't get it.
Right.
But I slipped in some stuff to say, look, guys, we're all one. I mean, people took it wrong. Like there was one episode.
This is the foundation of this episode.
Yeah.
154 is to bring all of us together because there was that murmur, and it was just like this stuff was manufactured in a lab somewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
This should not be a real thing.
Yeah.
So
I try to slip stuff in there to discuss it. And you know, I started some discussions. There was one episode where they misunderstood completely and they came for me hard. There's an episode where my character was like, oh, you know, Abishola's been followed by this white man. The top is the white man. The bottom is the African, you know, that whole thing. But that's how old school Africans think.
Yeah.
And then I had the other character, Gloria, the African-American nurse, say, you're talking nonsense. Yeah. If you get stopped by the police, you think they're going to go, oh, I'm from Benin City. You're still black. It don't make no difference. So I had the other character counteract that. But what happened was people took just my character's part of it and edited out the African-American character. And when look at what this woman's written about African-Americans. She hates us, these Africans. And I'm like, you got to watch the whole scene and you'll see that the African-American rebuts what she's saying and makes her look stupid. Like, come on. But I was trying to start these discussions.
How did you feel about Elon Musk, you know, being upset that Oscar-winning actress Lupita Nyong'o is cast to play Helen of Troy in the Odyssey?
Oh, he can shut. Elon Musk, this man, all the money, how pathetic is this man? He's got all the money in the world. And he spends his time just on Twitter because he's a sad, pathetic man that no matter how much money he's got, he still looks like a pillowcase full of mashed potatoes. He is a sad and pathetic man.
There's these
all the money in the world.
Pillowcase full of what?
He looks like once you look at him, you won't be able to unsee this. He looks like a pillowcase full of potatoes that someone slit eye holes in. You'll never be able to unsee that.
And you know what's messed up is there's these comics that said, it was so funny. It was a bunch of comics. They were like, it was like he spent so much money on plastic surgery to look mid.
Exactly.
He looks mad average.
These white people get upset about the stupid.
The dumbest.
Because he came after you too.
They had a whole movie called Gods of Egypt.
And they were all white people.
Not a freaking African in it.
None.
They've been doing blackface from time immemorial. And they're complaining.
It's unbelievable. It's just a straight anti-blackness.
It's ridiculous.
It's a bane of...
A mermaid, a fictional character.
That's not even from Europe.
They went
in stories.
crazy because a black girl was playing it.
Yeah.
James Bond, you can't have a black... James Bond is a fictional character.
It can be whatever he wants.
He could be a alien. He could be green.
It really would be nice if racism were fictional, but they keep that fiction.
Can you imagine?
We can't be in the future. We can't be in space.
It's insanity.
We can't be in...
It's insanity.
When Spider-Man, when Miles Morales, they were angry about that.
Oh, listen.
Woo. What about when he came after you? Because he came after you after Star Trek. Yeah.
Look, he's just a racist, bloated piece of rubber.
If Elon Musk was sitting next to you right now, and he wanted to have a conversation, would you have that conversation with him?
Yeah, with the tip of my elbow in his face. No,
well, I believe
there is no conversation. This is a child of apartheid.
Yeah.
This is a man descended from racists who is racist. He is a piece of
his father's worse.
And everybody puts him up as this genius. He's not a genius.
Not at all.
All he's done is come in and buy. Tesla existed, and I love Tesla cars. I used to have one. Tesla existed before Elon Musk. Right. He just comes in, bought the company, drove out the actual guys that invented it, and puts himself up front. He has never invented, made anything in his life.
A lot of those guys, Zuckerberg, all those guys.
None of them.
Taken and stolen.
They just idea
Gates stole Microsoft, all of that.
Idea stealers, that's all they are.
Yeah.
So I have no respect for that man. Nobody becomes a billionaire without the just subjugating other people and without. So I have no respect for him.
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
I heard what Gina said. I was watching 154. Anyway, I love Africans, but I feel that Gina kind of.
I want to elbow you in the face right now.
Because he always glitches in front of you. You're like, damn.
Because he's on so many drugs.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so done with him.
DEI, because I know he's been big. The Trump administration have been big on attacking DEI. What are your thoughts about DEI being removed and the way black women are losing their jobs at a high rate today?
They are trying to handmaid us back into subjugation.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to do. And, I would say if you got the means, get the hell out while you can. I did.
You moved to Costa Rica?
I'm in Costa Rica, yeah. I mean, my house burnt down in the LA fires. I was in Altadena. And I feel like that was the universe going, get out while you can.
Yeah.
And I'm taking heed. I saw what was coming. I bought land in Costa Rica because I saw what was coming. I became a citizen of the United States first. Why? For two reasons. One, what I really wanted was this to be my story. I became a citizen, and my first ever vote was to cast the first black woman, president of the United States. That was the story that I wanted to tell.
Yeah.
And that was the number one reason why I became a citizen. Because I had no interest in becoming a citizen. I was going to stay on my green card forever. But when Trump came in 2016, he was talking about the green card. And I was thinking, the green card used to be the holy grail, but Trump is going to take that away from people. Yeah. And that's the only reason why I was like, during the Biden administration, I was like, all right, let me get this citizenship. Because if he does win again, the green card ain't going to mean nothing. So I did that for that reason. Yeah. One, so hopefully we could get Kamala in. And two, if we don't, it's going to be a lot harder to kick me out but I kind of, I'm out anyway. But at least I can come and go as I please.
Yeah.
For now.
For now.
For now.
Can we talk about the Kevin Hart roast? Because I know that you went online and you had a lot to say, but I also too shared a lot of the feelings that you had, because to me, when I watch it, I'm no comedian. Cheryl Underwood is a friend of mine, and I was so happy for her. But it felt like watching that they were trying to force a lot of uncomfortable, racial talk and racial jokes, and it just felt so weird.
It was disgusting.
What was your take on it?
A roast is supposed to, traditionally a roast, like the Friars Club roast, was between friends.
Yeah.
It was friends ribbing each other and trying to get one up on each other. And for fun, it was based on friendship and mutual respect. Roasts now are not that. It's just a media whore fest. It's just a bunch of people reading, they're just standing there reading teleprompters.
Yeah, and it feels weird. It doesn't feel like a joke. It doesn't feel,
There's no way in a million years that Kevin Hart and Tony Hinchcliffe hang out. They're not friends.
It seems like those people didn't even belong. It seems like it was hodgepodge together. It didn't feel authentic
It was Netflix putting the hot white guys of the moment on Kevin's roast. Tony Hinchcliffe and the other dude, what's his name?
Ross?
Shane Gillis.
In what world are these guys friends? So that is why, I didn't like it. I don't like roasts anyway. I feel they're mean-spirited and gross, and that's why I've never done one.
Yeah, you don't have to go. That's another thing.
You don't have to.
Because you weren't there, right?
No, I was at the Flavor Flav roast with Cat Williams years ago.
Yeah.
And it was Jimmy Kimmel. It was Ice-T.
And I didn't like that one either. But those are roasts.
Yeah.
And I know that's what roasts are about.
Yeah.
Look, some jokes were very off they were off color, and I laughed at some of them.
Yeah.
And I'm not even that mad about the roasting of Cheryl's dead husband, because that is what these mean-spirited roasts are about.
Yeah.
And it's about, I find it gross and I would never do it, but that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's about.
I understand that. But I did not like these white guys talking about Cheryl's skin.
Yeah.
That is racism. I don't care if there's certain things I just won't stand for.
Yeah.
There's stuff that you can do within the family. I don't even like it within the family.
Right.
I don't even like black people doing "you're so black" jokes to other black people.
Yeah.
Because it's based in colorism. It's based in plantation.
Yeah.
Field
slave.
In the name of a joke.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna pass that down.
Yeah.
It's passed down from the plantation hierarchy. So I don't like that stuff anyway. But I get it within the family.
Yeah.
And on a roast within the family. But I didn't like that these white people were comfortable enough.
So awkward.
That's what I don't like. This is what makes me go, how are these white boys so comfortable
Yeah.
to be telling these kind of jokes in front of black audience, in front of arguably the biggest black comedian on the planet?
Yeah.
They were too comfortable. No white comic can ever sit next to me and do no talking about slave ship. And
What would you have done if you were there? If that was...
if I was there, I would have left.
Yeah.
But I would not, if I'd known that Tony Hinchcliffe was going to be on that roast, I would not have been. I mean, Wanda Sykes turned it down, and I'm sure she did.
Chris Rock, Wanda Sykes.
Because I'm sure they were like,
turned it down.
You got Tony, you got the guy that was at the MAGA KKK rally.
Yeah.
On this roast.
And he's go there. That's what he does.
And that's what he does.
That's what he does.
I was expecting
people
something
like, why are you so mad at Kevin and not mad at the guy that said the jokes? Because the guy that said the joke is going to say those jokes.
That's what he said.
He was at a Trump rally doing those jokes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to blame him.
Yeah.
Because he's a racist.
Yeah.
You don't blame the racist for being a racist. He's a racist. But you don't bring him into your hallowed space. I'm not going to bring a racist to my house.
Right.
And then get mad when he's racist.
It felt like, I don't know if everybody else felt the same way, but I know when I watched it, I even I think I hit you up, CJ, and I was like, yo, this thing it was so flat to me. It was so awkward.
Yeah.
But when Cheryl Underwood stood up and she's
amazing.
like, do y'all know where y'all at? We in England. If you ever step out, and when I start seeing her hair fly, it took me back to I said, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I was so happy, not just because, she's the homie, but because I know she's been doing the show for so long.
Yeah.
And then to get back out of it is almost like a semi coming out of retirement.
Well, she called me and she's been wanting to.
Killed it.
The past couple months, she's been calling me about comedy clubs and all that because she has been away from it for a long time.
Yeah.
So to get back into the swing of things, especially live performance, people will be like, "Oh, you're on a talk show, but we don't really know."
Yeah.
It's weird.
She had this massive history,
but
everybody knew.
But a
legacy.
roast.
And she's from Chicago, that. She's a stand-up comic. But this, and I talked to her.
I think it was beneath her.
I
understand.
You thought the roast was beneath her?
I think the roast was it should have been
Okay.
comics who were actually friends.
No doubt.
It should have been a celebration of Kevin.
There should have been more black comics, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There should have been more.
And where were the gays? They got MAGA represented. Where were the gays?
Right.
They're doing all these jokes about sucking each other's dicks and sitting on each other's laps and licking nipples, and The Rock is trying to get Kevin Hart to sit on his lap. But there's not a single gay there. There's no gays. Kevin's got no gay friends. There's no gay friends. Nothing. So, I didn't like that aspect of it. I did not like, because it was that George Floyd joke. I don't care. People go, it was jokes. Why can't comedians? But
It was
They
unnecessary.
got mad at Charlie
Floyd
Kirk.
had nothing to do with that roast.
Yeah.
It's a roast of Kevin.
Right.
I did not get angry at the jokes about Kevin's dad and his parents and all that kind of,
Right.
because that's what roasts are about.
Yes.
I didn't get angry about the jokes about Cheryl's husband. That's what horrible roasting is about. But the George Floyd joke was, he just said it because he could, because he was comfortable enough.
Do you know any of the
to-
writers for that? Did you know any of them?
No, I know Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
I know.
And
there
Tony
was
Hinchcliffe
Mike
was never
Lawrence.
like that before. He was never like that before.
Yeah, I did.
He wasn't. I used
Yeah.
to see him at the cellar all the time.
Yeah.
These white boys are just doing this race because it makes money now. That's what's in right now. This is the political climate we're in.
Yeah.
And all these mediocre white male comics who were getting nothing before has suddenly become Joe Rogan friggin' sycophants, and are now switching to this right-wing racist comedy because that's what
There's a lot of
elevates them.
comics switching over to that.
That's
we
what
knew were
elevates
not
them.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look how Tony Hinchcliffe has gone like this.
Yeah.
From switching to that kind of comedy. And it literally is just a money move. It's just a business move. Whether he's truly a racist or not,
Yeah.
Who knows?
But isn't that kind of the same thing too, like with Trump? Because Trump used to be like considered like a Democrat and then moved.
Well, Trump used to be around black people and rappers and blah blah blah.
Oh, Trump was always a racist, but he
was always a racist. But there's racists that hang around you now. There's racists that hang around you now. They just know when to do it and when not.
Yeah, but now the Pandora's box has been opened.
Oh yeah, it's like,
and and now they feel vindicated. They feel
they're like.
They've been emboldened. They've been emboldened.
No doubt, no doubt.
And so, these white comics who kept their racism under wraps are suddenly like, now I can say what I really feel.
Yeah. You talked about Chelsea Handler in your you went on for a while on Instagram.
She's a horrible woman.
Yeah, you said, what did she do to you?
What happened?
Horrible.
What happened?
I mean, she was great on the roast.
Yeah.
And I give her that. She was very funny and she was good and I enjoyed what she did. She was horrible to me. I was on Chelsea lately because at the time her show was the biggest show.
The Netflix show, the Netflix one?
Was it
no.
This was
Comedy
Central.
Comedy Central. It was on E.
I was on E.
And because I did it a few times.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was Chelsea Lately show, and that was the show that if you got on there as a few times as a comic, it could elevate you. Joe Coy blew up from it.
Joe Coy, yep.
Lonnie Love was on there a lot.
Lonnie Love.
Yeah. Love Lonnie.
And I watched the show and and my manager was like, that's the show you need to get on. Because I was in America, newly in America, trying to get my foothold on the market. And so Chelsea Lately was a show to do. And I watched the show and I did not like the way that they were doing Lonnie Love on that show. I didn't like it because they're always calling her names like, oh, you're fat and you're this and you're that. And I know that they were friends and whatever, but I just found it distasteful. The way, and Chelsea would do that to Lonnie, and then white male comics who were guests on the show would then start disrespecting Lonnie. And I'd be watching the show going, you wouldn't even be good enough to open for Lonnie. Why are you talking to her like that?
Right.
So I didn't like that.
Right.
Anyway, my manager got me on the show.
Yeah.
I come on the show, and in my mind, I'm like, you ain't gonna be disrespecting me on this show. I'm gonna come on, I'm gonna do my jokes, and I'm gonna be funny. I'm not going to disrespect you, but I'm not going to allow you to disrespect me. Yeah. So I came on the show. Now, before the show, Chelsea's walking up and down the hallway. She don't say hello to me. She walks past me, doesn't acknowledge me at all. Now, she knows I'm coming on the show. I'm there. Like, when people are coming on my shows, like when we had guest actors on Bob Hart, I'd come up and I'd be like, thank you for coming on the show. Have a good time, blah, 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 anything you need. Yeah. And I was the showrunner, but I'd come out and meet
cordial manners,
right?
Yeah.
I'm on the show. I'm a guest on the show. She walks past me in the hallway, just doesn't acknowledge me at all before the show. Not a hello, nothing. So we get in front of the camera. As soon as the camera comes on, she's saying things like, well, welcome to our country. I mean, you can go back and find the episode. Wow. She kept saying things like, welcome to our country, and saying stuff like that. And I was like, I see what you're trying to do, Chelsea.
Oh, she was trying to rage bait you?
But I'm not doing it.
She was rage baiting you?
I just aimed all my jokes at the audience. I go, ha ha, Chelsea. Jokes to the audience. Oh yeah, right, Chelsea. Jokes to the audience. So I was killing. I killed.
Yeah.
I came off. One of the producers.
Oh, whose phone is that? Mine. Kung Fu Fighting.
What a horrible ringtone.
My phone. Dante set it up.
I hope the camera picked that up.
Kung Fu Fighting?
Kung Fu Fighting. Guys.
Oh.
But anyway, so the cameras come on, so I just play the audience. I acknowledge Chelsea in the show and pretend like I'm having a good time with her, but I'm aiming my jokes at the audience. And I'm doing well. I come off, my manager came with me, because she was like, oh my God, she came with me, and I come off and she was like, God, it's really good. And then the producer comes off and goes, oh my God, you're so good. We're gonna get you back. And I knew I was good because I come from England where I've been doing panel shows my entire career.
Yes.
So I know how to do panel shows. Yeah. So I wasn't nervous at all because I was like, oh, I've done panel shows a million times. I'm good at this. So I had all my jokes written. They'd sent me the jokes like, they send me the subject
different
matter,
subject matter.
Like 2 hours before. So I had quickly written up some stuff and I had to. Anyway, so the producer comes up after the show, goes, yeah, that was great, love it. We've got to get you back. I'm excited. I go home and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be on Chelsea Lately.
Right.
It's going to be good. It will help me get into the comedy clubs in America. This is going to be awesome. Jody, my manager, calls her the next day, all excited. So when can Gina get back on to do another set? And the same producer who said to me the day before, oh my God, that was so good.
Yeah.
We've got to get you back. That was, you spoke when you didn't sit there and freeze under the lights. It was great. Same producer goes, Chelsea didn't understand her accent.
What?
That's what the producer said to my manager. Chelsea didn't understand her accent. And I was like, but I did my jokes.
In front of her.
I got to the punchlines, the audience laughed. How do you not? And I'd been in America probably 2 years at this point, doing sets all around Hollywood.
Yeah.
So like, what
And
are
you had
talking-
never gotten that feedback that
Oh,
nobody.
never.
Yeah.
How do you not understand what? I think we can all understand what I'm saying. What do
Yeah,
you think?
right.
You speak English?
So I'm basically, I'm like,
England?
because I wasn't willing to let her abuse me on the show, and because I just was like,
Right.
she didn't want me back on the show. And I never got to appear on the Chelsea Lately show again.
Wow.
And so I was like, this was my only opportunity to get, and I've never liked her since then. She was awful. Wow. She was awful.
Wow. You call him up out. I love it.
I don't give a Listen, I'll call out all those racists.
Yeah.
That green room, I wouldn't do the green room.
Why?
The green room back in the day?
What was that guy's name? Paul
Paul Provenza. Yeah, I did
Racist
that.
ass mother.
Wow.
Talk about it.
He used to come to England and do shows at the comedy clubs before he was super famous.
Right.
And we were at this comedy club called Jongleurs. And they were a chain of comedy clubs. They had 17
Jongleurs,
clubs
yeah.
all over. They paid my mortgage for 5 years because I worked for them consistently.
Yeah.
And we were backstage at Jongleurs Comedy Club, and Paul Provenza was having a conversation with a white comic, and he said the N-word.
He's got that obsession.
So I stopped and I was like, Paul, I'd rather you not use that word in front of me. I find it uncomfortable, and I really don't want to hear that word in front of me. Paul got in my face like this, stood over me. It's just a f***ing word. And he shouted it in my face.
What?
And there were 3 other white comics in the room.
Damn.
And none of them did anything. Just spat and he shouted it in my face. It's just a word. And he shouted it in my face 3 times.
Wow.
And I was a young comic at the time. I was
Yeah.
new in the game. So I just got up and I left the room, went and did my set, and then spoke to the woman who booked the Jongleurs clubs.
Yeah.
And I said, never put me on a show with that man again, right? And that was years ago. And then fast forward 12 years later, now I've moved to America. I've forgotten about it because there was lots of racist incidents over the years with various comics. It happened a lot. And I worked in engineering, so.
And you're a woman, because like with a lot of us, the male comics, they don't open their mouth with that.
Well, I was a young black woman in a room full of white men.
Of course, they don't do it with around us.
So like, how do you?
Full of white men.
Yeah.
So I had no one there.
Yeah.
So he knew he could do that. So anyways, I left. Fast forward, I forgot about it because it was years on, and lots of racist incidents happened over the years. So I just moved on from it. I worked in engineering. I had way worse than that on my day job. So I moved on. But years later, I'm in America. My manager calls me and goes, so they'd like you to come on the green room. And I'd forgotten about that incident, but my body, when I say my body just went like this. And I went, no, I don't want to do it. And my manager was like, but why? It's the green room. It's a nice little And I was like, no, thanks. And I'd forgotten why, but I immediately reacted to it. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that show. And I never did the green room. And it wasn't until 2 years after that I went, oh, that's why I didn't want to do the green room.
Right.
Because of what happened with this guy back in England in the early 2000s.
Wow. And now I heard you have a new meaning for BAFTA. What's the new meaning?
BAFTA, I used to do a joke about it many years ago, saying that the BAFTA, which is it's like the
British award, Oscars.
Not like the Emmys, it's almost like a British Emmy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The BAFTA Awards, which is, what is the British Academy of whatever.
Some British Academy
whatever. But I used to do a joke saying that it actually stands for Black Actors F*** Off to Africa. Because black actors never
win
those awards.
Jeez.
And then after that last debacle
the Tourette's
with with that, after that
The
last,
Tourette's.
where they edited out someone saying piss. They edited out someone saying free Palestine, but they left in the white guy screaming the N-word.
Oh,
Two
fantastic.
accomplished black actors.
That was disgusting.
You would never see me at the BAFTAs.
That was disgusting.
Even if they say we want to give you a Lifetime Achievement Award?
You will never see me at the BAFTAs.
Why do we keep showing up to this?
See, I have integrity, and this is probably why I'll never be as rich as a lot of people in this industry, because I just can't do it.
Yeah. Right, you're not built for that.
And I know how much money is enough for me. I don't need lots of money. So I had a figure in my mind which is enough that I can live on comfortably. And once I hit that figure, I'm like, well, I don't need more and more and more, which means I'm not putting up with any of the bull.
Yeah, some people are built to be called names and keep going. I'm trying to smack shit out you. I'm gonna throw something at you. That's just, it's just not to dehumanize people. And then go, but it's, I go, no.
I've slapped it out of comic sense.
I'm gonna try to wait for you outside.
After that full Provenza incident, another comic tried it with me a couple of years ago, and I slapped it.
And I did the green room.
Out of him.
But they don't do it around the male comics.
Oh, no, they don't do it around me no more.
Quiet as hell.
They don't do it around me no more.
So
couple of years later, a guy tried it with me and I slapped it out of him.
Nice.
I was young and new at the time, and it caught me off balance.
And they just do it out of nowhere.
And it bugs me for a long time that I didn't just, so I said, if this ever happens to me.
But you know what I love about you? I love how resilient you are. I mean, even so much so too, even like you had, a medical situation. You beat lupus. And
you beat it.
Yeah, you beat lupus.
Baby.
Yeah, I remember her changing her whole diet.
Yeah, because that's an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
How did you beat that?
I literally started, they were giving me lots of drugs. I was on steroids, and I was on so many steroids, it blew me up to like 250 pounds. I was like, I could show you.
I remember the weight gain.
I could show you fat Gina pictures, you'll be shocked. And so they kept putting steroids and giving me all these kind of drugs. And at one point, the doctors were like, we're going to try chemotherapy.
Jeez.
Chemotherapy?
We just want to blast out your entire immune. So they just wanted to do a hard reset on my immune system. And I was like, you guys are just experimenting on me like I'm a damn guinea pig. No, thank you, doc. And then I went and started researching how to naturally repair your body. And I discovered, detoxing in Thailand, when you go and you fast for 7 days and you clean out your body. So I went out to Thailand and did that. And then when I came back from that, I changed my diet. I went raw vegan.
I remember that.
And when I say at one point, my arthritis was so bad, I had raised toilet seats. Because if I had to go anywhere to do sets in LA, it would take me 45 minutes to get out of my car. I'd get somewhere and just to go to the toilet, I'd have to slowly lower myself down because my knees were so swollen and so painful that I had to have raised toilet seats like those old ladies, And after changing my diet and going raw vegan, cutting out sugar, cutting out processed food, cutting out all acidic foods and going full alkaline diet, my symptoms went away within 6 weeks.
Wow, that's insane.
And I came off all my medication. And the doctor's like, you can't, you're going to die. Your body will go into shock. That was in 2009.
Why do you think doctors would steer you away from eating healthy?
Because they're being bought by pharmaceutical companies. The cancer industry earns more money from keeping people on cancer drugs than curing people.
And the sympathy, not to mention the sympathy fundraiser, because I can't tell you, I got to a point where it was like, man, I don't know if I even believe that they're ever going to want to find a cure. Because they say, hey, but donate for this and donate for cancer cure. And I was like, no, that's a lot of donation.
It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So the pharmaceutical company, they take doctors on vacation, give them all expenses paid 5-star resort trips, and then give them drugs to sell to their patients. That's how Oxygot became the massive scourge of America that it became, because these companies were taking doctors on vacations. If your patient's ill, just give them this, knowing what it does. So the whole health industry is a scam, especially in America. This is supposed to be number one, America, and yet people are dying because they can't afford medication in America. It's a scam.
And I know it's so different too. And I'd love to hear your perspective because you've lived in multiple countries. Like I lost a brother and, right before the pandemic. And I just remember, me taking him outside of his hospital network and taking him to one of my own private doctors. And they were like, what are they doing? And what I realized is that where he was going, they were just slow feeding him, trying to get, okay, now put him on this, now put him on this, now put him on. The doctor I took him to was like, yo, he needs to be on this right now. But by the time I was able to get him to my doctor and make that transition, he wasn't able to make it. And it still gives me it just makes me furious because you don't know what you don't know and you're trusting the doctors, but yet they're slow paying you for money situation. They don't want you to go to the highest level of treatment because it's like, yo, that's going to cost the hospital too much money. They got somebody in the back doing checks and balances.
That's what I'm saying.
And so, and I would ask you, what's the difference between, you think, the healthcare system, like, for example, in the UK and like London, I think it's free, right?
Yeah.
And then you come to America and it's crazy expensive.
Oof. I was so shocked when I came to America.
Really?
Yeah, because I had lupus at the time and I had a flare-up. And I ended up in hospital for one night. And they tried to charge me $16,000 for one night in hospital. In a country I'm not even earning a living yet. And I called them up the next day and I was like, listen, I don't have $16,000. And furthermore, I'm not American. I will get on a plane tomorrow and I'll be gone and you'll never see me again. So we need to work something out. And I just heard the woman tap on her computer. And then she's like, okay, if you pay $4,000 today, it's done. So I literally got out a credit card and paid $4,000 and ended up paying that over the next year. And I was like, it's a scam. Yeah. From $16,000 to $4,000.
Oh, were those real numbers?
Oh, those are real numbers. They were upcharging everything. Yeah. Because I didn't have health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, they actually charge you more.
Oh, yeah. I found that out the hard way.
They charge you more. Woo. So the whole thing is, and this is how I ended up in Costa Rica. I needed a dental implant. And I was on my girlfriend's health insurance. And with health insurance, they wanted $13,000 for one tooth.
What in the hell?
And so I started researching, health tourism. Discovered Costa Rica, went to Costa Rica, had 2 implants, 2 crowns, did a yoga retreat at a 5-star resort for $7,000. Out of pocket, with no insurance. That was just out of pocket. And yet with insurance in America, they wanted $13,000
for one tooth.
For one tooth. So I was like,
and no yoga.
No yoga.
No yoga.
I stayed at a 5-star resort, watching monkeys in trees, doing yoga every day, and got all my teeth done. Got 2 implants, 2 crowns. $7,000. So that's why I'm in Costa Rica now, because even with or without health insurance is better than America. And the UK, free healthcare. Free. Everybody pays a little bit extra tax into a pot. Yeah. So that everybody can get.
But isn't it different? Like if you got sick, you might let's say you need to do that the whole root canal or whatever in the UK.
Still cheaper than America by far.
But how long would you have to wait? Like if you were in severe pain, don't you have to wait like 6 months?
No, hell no. You can pay for private healthcare in England, but it's still cheaper because I had the free healthcare and I also had a private health insurance, so that if it was something like if there is an operation that gets backed up for a long time, you have to wait a long time. Then I'd go through private. Same doctor.
Yeah.
But just you pay a premium.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But the premium was $130 a month for a private health insurance. It wasn't anything like what you guys are being charged in America.
Yeah.
So you can have private as well as the free healthcare.
Yeah, don't be like me with 4 kids and a wife. That premium bill is healthy. It's healthy.
Before we leave, I gotta let you know this tattoo right here.
Wait, y'all got the same tattoo?
No, I had it first.
I got a mask for the Igbo tribe, right? Okay. I want to do that. My parents passed, so I want to get that. So I went to this dope dude. It's David Senna in downtown New York. He does a lot of Japanese cool stuff. I was interviewing a lot of tattoo artists, and then I said, "Oh, this guy, y'all like this guy, right?" So he said, "I've never done that before, but I'm interested." So he did my little email. I said, "But I love Pacific Island stuff too. Love Pacific Island." And I read to her. She goes, "No, I got the guy for you. I got the guy, King Alpha. I got King Alpha." yo, go to him, and I'm telling you. And so I went to him 4 sessions. I said I want it surrounded with, all of that. So I got it,
I got the Igbo mask. And what do you have? Because yours looks,
I've got a
and it
mixture of
tells a
things.
story and everything.
I've got a mixture of things.
Yeah.
Adinkra symbols. I've got a bunch of those because there's no Nigerian symbols of, like the Adinkra symbols that mean have different meanings. That couldn't find the Nigerian version of that.
Yeah.
But this was when I first moved to the States. I went to King Arthur and I told him my story and he just did it.
Yeah.
I didn't know what he was going to do.
Yeah.
He just did it.
I had to talk to him too, and then he did mine. Yes.
Wow.
So there's shark teeth for protection. There's, tortoise shells. There's, the birds for freedom.
Yeah.
So basically, I literally told him my story, and he just tattooed it onto my arm.
Yeah, he did the same with me.
24 hours, not one touch.
You did it one time?
No, 3 8-hour sittings.
Every about 4 2-hour sessions. Yeah, so I didn't get because I did half and I was like, this is dope. I don't know what to do
I
here.
went all in, mate. I went all in. Well, this is my mosaic arm. Wherever I go in the world,
I don't even know where to go.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So this is Indonesia. It's New York. It's Thailand.
You never got one in Nigeria?
No, I didn't actually, because I was literally only there for 2 days.
Any Benin, anything.
How many other countries have you been to on the continent?
Ghana, Nigeria, Tunisia, Morocco. Where else? South Africa. Where else? A few others.
Any East Coast? Any East? I've not done
Kenya,
East yet.
Kenya.
Okay.
Kenya.
Where else? Gambia, Senegal.
Okay.
That's West Coast, but
Hey, you almost had double digits.
I've been to a lot of countries.
That's pretty cool.
I am very well traveled.
That's pretty cool. My goal is to go to all 54 countries.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all 54 countries. That's the goal.
Well, I would, but I'm a gay.
Yeah. Well, so you can't go to.
I'm illegal.
In some of the
Senegal
countries.
now, Ghana, them far-right Christians have colonized the brains of Africans.
So you can't. What do you mean? You can't
I'm
travel?
illegal there.
Yeah, it's illegal.
I can't go there safely and live and be there.
Can you pretend? Like, I ain't
I
gay.
could pretend very easily, but all you have to do is Google me, and I'm done.
Will they put you in prison?
Just come as a
Well,
regular.
yeah, as a gay, it's not safe. They took out so many passages
Right.
from the book
this is actually fascinating.
that would have
Where's
black
my
people fighting for freedom.
Yeah.
They left in the passages about obey your master. They left all that stuff in to justify slavery.
You actually grew up. Your mom grew up as
She was a Baptist.
Baptist, a devout Christian.
Yeah.
But she actually, because you talked about this in your book, she actually didn't let you guys go to church because she didn't probably want to go through all the rigmarole.
Yeah, we never
Yeah.
went to church. We were very much an anomaly amongst other Nigerian families that my mum never made us go to church. And
Lucky.
I would love to ask her why, but she'd always say, I can worship God in the house.
That's right.
God is everywhere. Why do I have to go there?
Facts.
But I don't know if she witnessed something in the church that she never talked about.
Yeah.
Because when I think about it, her sister, my mum's sister, who was raised in the same family, was mad into the church. She was a crazy churchgoer.
Yeah.
So I'm like, sometimes I think, Mum, did you see something? Or did something happen that you don't, because Nigerians love a secret. They're so secretive.
yeah.
You have to pull it out of them.
Yeah.
So I feel like my mum might have seen something in the church that she ain't talking about. But we never went to church, and I was very happy. I went to church schools, so I went to church as part of school.
Yeah.
Because religious schools in England were
Right.
the best free schools.
Yeah, and you talked about if the best schools were Islam, you would have been in an Islamic school.
Oh, church.
Yeah.
I changed my religion. My mum changed our religion several times.
Yeah.
I went to Roman Catholic school. I was Roman Catholic for a while. I was Church of England for a while. Wherever the best school was, listen, if it had been a Jewish school, she'd have been like, Shalom. You're getting,
Shalom. Right.
So
was there anything about that experience or how do you feel, I guess, about, Christianity? Yeah. And why is that?
because nobody actually adheres to the real tenets of Christianity.
all.
Nobody adheres to it.
I mean, they burn crosses in the name of Jesus.
These far-right Christians are not
Yeah,
Christians.
right.
They're not Christians. They're devils. They're murdering. They're not respecting foreigners. They're not welcoming people who are not like them, which it says in the Bible you're supposed to do. You know, you're not supposed to judge other people.
And the Bible's full of colored people anyway.
It's full
I'm
of,
so sick of this.
It's full of,
brown people. It's all brown people.
The Bible has been bastardized. And used to uphold patriarchy and racism.
No doubt.
And uphold
you had a
misogyny.
quote in your book, and you quoted a guy, and I know we're gonna let you go here. You quoted a guy, and essentially you're saying that the Bible was given to Africans. They were told to close their eyes and pray, and when they opened their eyes, they took their
all the land was gone.
The land was gone,
but they were all in the churches.
Yeah.
I mean, the Brits came. We had our own traditions and our own religions, and they took that from us and had us worshiping a white Jesus. Jesus was Palestinian. He wasn't white. He wasn't white.
He was an Afro-Palestinian.
So, you know, I don't subscribe to the Bible at all. I feel like black people are brainwashed by a book that has been bastardized for the empowerment of a group of people who just want to keep us in a particular mindset. And it's all about keeping women in their place, keeping women down, and keeping people of color down. They use the Bible to keep slaves subjugated. Obey your master. You know, that wasn't in there. They took out all the passages that related to freedom and being free and being your own. They took out all of those. And never put those back in. So I'm saying the Bible is not the Bible.
I mean, this is interesting, and I appreciate your take on it. I mean, I grew up, in a Muslim Christian household, so I grew up in, Muslim and then converted to Christianity. So I've got deep belief and deep roots, into the Christian faith. So this is interesting. I understand you and hear your perspective on it. I guess my last question to you is
King James Bible. King James was a homosexual.
He sure was.
King James was
was a homosexual.
King James is a homosexual?
King James was a gay.
I gotta do some research on here.
This is what I'm talking about. All these people.
Remember the Noah's Ark where he had two of each?
No, King James was gay.
Two men.
It was well known. It's well known. That King James
I've got some research to do. If we ever pick this conversation up, we'll pick up on this one, bro. But I want to say thank you so much.
Gina!
We appreciate your story. Thank you so much for rocking with us here. 154!
Oh yeah!
154. We all connected, baby. You already know. I'm talking 154. We bringing Africa around the whole globe. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like home. Ain't no place like